Welcome back, chat, to Tradespotting and the greatest story ever told about the greatest show we've ever seen. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll have noticed my recent tweet that explains Tradespotting isn't some chundling how-to train, but instead a maglev of pain heading for the heart of darkness. We won't slow down to explain the DD. We're not going to take time to let you in on simple logic. And we can't be arsed listening to reasonable people. We aren't reasonable anymore. This week is looking fantastic on the charts. I think we're going to see $197 before long. Premarket, $176.65. This is a pre-market chart open here behind me. You can see $176.65. So we're coming near to our closing price at the end of last week. We could see that on the short-term time frames, momentum was down, but that was slowing down momentum. We could see that we had a possible positive cross coming up on the DMI, or not cross, but bounce. Looks good. We need to see this ADX turn around again. If we do, and the prices continue to go up, then we'll see a very positive day today. But we may touch down around 173, 171, or even as far down as high 160s, without changing our current trajectory, which is upwards. So I'm expecting a positive day. How's everybody doing in chat? Is it working here? Yes, it is. Excellent. And then just let me get this back. Okay. Is volume as important as we're sometimes led to believe, specifically in this stonk? Volume is very important, Drew. Technical analysis is the scrutiny of volume, volatility, and momentum to give a narrative to price action. Just made it home. Good afternoon all. Hey Lee. Hey Apple. Hey Eddie. Wabs and Nabsm. Alright, Malcolm Tucker. Emoji Dog 1. Oh, there's new emojis, everybody. Check them out. Feel free to use them liberally. Got GME, we've got AMC, and we've got Omega Chad. Queen Bee, how you doing? Orphan Pipe, great to see you. Advancing Ape, great man. PH 3D, awesome. Nice use of the GME emojis. Scott M, morning. AB Lopez, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you. Rocky Outcrops made it. How you doing, Rocky? Thanks for taking a minute off to be here with us all. Eric, got 10 extra shares. Nice man. Nice one. Grape Ape. Philippe Almeida. Isabel. Wow, all the old faces. M.A. Campisi. Lee Halt. Patrick D. Is it possible that there will be no molest? Sure, anything's possible. EV80. Rocky. AB Lopez. Hey, that's AB. Stephen. Hey, Rocky. Yazabu. Great to see everybody. How many people are online now? Whoa, 311. Flippin' heck, I didn't expect to be so busy today. That's great to see everybody. So it's Monday morning. Markets are open in 2 minutes. What would we all like to see? What's your price prediction for today? Chat, let me know. Just say that you think today's closing price will be in chat. And if you want, we can take a look at some of your predictions and how we might get there. Or if you've got your own take on the TA, let me know and I'll give you my critique. So, Rocky, sing along. Good times. Yeah, what a tune. Running Rockstar. Peter's here. Smash the likes. Thanks very much for all the likes we got, guys. Great. Over the weekend, we lost a couple of channel members and a Patreon member, which is okay. It's okay. We keep going. We go on. We'll carry them. We'll carry them over the end ourselves. How long do you think the morass will last? Potentially a couple of weeks, mate. I'd say it'd take a couple of weeks. If it was taking any longer than that, then, well, it could be, if it doesn't finish within a couple of weeks, it might never finish. Chloe Jane, how you doing? 220. Okay, you've got some good prices in here. Let me check what they are. This is important. I want to see these here. See what people's sentiment is on the stonk. Let's see. So I'm going to try and remember here, right? Some good ones. By the end of today, Clements Wellender, 500,000. I like it, mate. I like your thinking. Fuck yeah. 500,000 from Clemens. We've got above 180 from Brendan. That's very conservative, perhaps, if you're looking on the upside around that price, around 180. I like it, though. I like it. It's not unrealistic, that's for sure. 180.43. I'm going to look at these all in chat, okay? Afterwards, I go through and I mark chapters, and at that time, I read all of the messages, I often wish I could respond at that moment, but, and it'd be weird writing in a comment underneath the video afterwards to somebody who will probably not be watching it again. So, if I miss your chat here, no, I do read it. 185. Let's see some more of these prices. 167.67. So Campisi's also got quite a realistic target there. 167.67, which is nice because we finished at 176.67 on Friday. 190. Bing bong. Let's get this. Likes up. How long do you think the MOAS will last? I've answered that one. $220. Nice. Yeah, $220. Chloe knows the chat. That's some good TA behind that, if you ask me. Scott M, 182. Oh, you're going to see it in 1,000 soon, says Queen Bee. Stonky Kong, 205. Mike, 182. Sideways Week, says Jaroslav. Jaroslaw, who must be from Poland. Hello, Jaroslaw. Shane, 187, 196, 153. So that's our low. Our lowest orders come in at... Lee Cast prepares himself for the worst. Prepare for the worst. Plan for the worst. Hope for the best. I like that too. I like that. It's a good way to manage your trading. Great way to manage your trading. 179 from Andrew. 178. Okay. Max Payne, Frank says. Frank's right onto something there, I suspect. Honestly, I expect 176 close. Okay. $1,000 from Bluff and Ace. So we've got 150s. 220s. Well, we've got things in between, but on the just beyond the standard deviation in chat is 150 to the downside and anything over 220 to the top side. 690,420 from Dave. David, sorry, not Dave. But if you prefer, Existential 189.17. Some good work here, chat. Okay, so any thoughts on negative yield for S&P 500? I wouldn't be trading S&P at the minute. I wouldn't be taking shitty. One of the things I would do a lot of the time is if things are looking positive, just take simple covered calls on the S&P. But it's not a week for doing that at the minute, really. What an opening dip. We started, here we go, straight down to our target there, chat. Jeez. What are we, psychic? So, here we go, let's take it on the minute chart and see what happens. Bottom of that Bollinger Band. Bollinger Bands are completely and utterly useless when you're on the very low time frames. First 5 minutes. See how that goes. Is it common for people to push the stock down in the first 5 minutes? Well, yes, it is with these sort of assets. If anybody wants it cheaper, a great thing to do is like push it down in pre-market so that on open, regular traders come in, get a little bit scared, think they'll get a better price later on in the day, the price fades, and then you scoop up your orders. That's what often happens at the start of a very strong day. Saying that in the face of an engulfing bearish candle. Oof, Jamie, who do you think you are? But we did talk about this momentum on the MACD on the smaller time frames on the 15 minutes and how that it hadn't ended yet. I don't know if that'll finish to be, as we see here, an increase in momentum. It may well do. Maybe that we're seeing something like this until price action resolves to the upside, and then we go back through here. So we'll see how that goes, and that may well come with our MACD coming down here, and then a positive cross on the MACD and a signal line at this point in time. Seeing as we're on this, we'll look at the 30-minute time frame. That's where you would look at these trades on 30 minutes. That's where you're going to get like perhaps an effective signal on the MACD. And when you've got up to the 30 minutes, you can get a truer picture of momentum. And as you can see, that line becomes irrelevant on the 30 minutes. You're actually looking at something like that. So this is why I'm not very scared just looking at these and other indicators about price action at the minute. But hey, it's flying against me. It's going right where I said it would, but will it go beyond it? Oh, look at that, guys. It's doing what I said it would do. Is it listening to me? You listen to me, price. If you are, I love you, GME. Right, so that's nice. People tried to fade it. It didn't work. People came in. Real traders got it back, as we thought. Those people got it. We're above the Bollinger Band in the 5 minutes, so even if that did mean something, it doesn't. There's a nice bounce. And what does that do? Well, it puts us on this 15 minutes in what some might call a channel. It could also then turn out to be a wedge. Channels often turn into wedges, which often turn back into wedges, turn into channels turn into wedges. Sorry, I don't know what I said, but they go from wedge to channel to wedge to channel. So here we are, looking at something like this. It's quite realistic looking at that sort of wedge there. I would expect to see that play out with perhaps a touch up around somewhere in 180s. And then perhaps we come out of this wedge and do a move like that, somewhere around here. Take us back into the, probably get 60% of that, so you'd expect maybe at some point today we might get another test of that 174 spot fuck all, and then prices then rise up again. Before or after there we could see 185, and we talked chat about targets. I've got one in the thumbnail. It's not clickbait, obviously. It's more just so that later on when people look back on my things, as they've always been able to do, you'll be able to just look at the thumbnail and say, look, oh, he called it again. So that's why it's there. It's not clickbait. If you've arrived to see why I think we're getting to that price, then I'll mark that in a moment. And it's got a lot to do with the positive momentum, the strength of this trend that we're seeing on our DMI, the fact that we're sitting at resistance, that this is the second test of it on a positive thrusting move with a 50% retrace, that we're on a inverted head and shoulders and a larger cup and handle. And the measured moves from those take us right up to what would be considered our true sort of horizontal resistance at the top of our liquidity zone, up around 220. But in order to get there, it has to go through 197, which is the top of this wick here, so this area of support and resistance here, and crucially it's here where we got up to on the start of this positive thrust of this move, what people might be calling a bull flag. And all of those formations lead on to higher and higher targets. But obviously first thing comes first, and we can't expect too much in one day on a Monday. Traditionally you wouldn't. So we take what is quite a conservative target of 197. Once we get there, I fully expect us to fit up with Chloe's target. I think it was Chloe around 220. Subsequent to that, we're going to go up to around the 280 mark, and it won't be long before you see us at 350. That's the inverted head and shoulders, the cup and handle, and the bull flag, which will take us ultimately much higher, but that would be confirmation of that narrative, which I would expect to see. So what else does it that dictates those price levels that I've got on the chart? Well, if you've been tuning in over the last well, if you've caught any of the videos at the end of last week, you'll see that there are various fibs that are playing off here. Look at this. 178.10 folks on price action. If you can see here over on the left, you'll see the price marked. I'm not sure if it's big enough on your screens. If you're on a phone, probably not, but 178.10, so you'll be able to see the price there at any time. And I suppose I could get up like a bigger ticker and show the price. Let me do that actually now, see if I can get that up here. Dola 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 dum, boom 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 boom. I don't think this is right, but is it? Let me see. Is it? Where is it anyway? No, that won't work. Not for now. Anyway, right. So where was Smash Friday? Sorry if I spammed your feed, man. I don't think you did, Lee. Don't remember. Feel free to spam the feed. Not going back to reasonable end. Nah, fuck that. How did Queen Bee and Apple Blossom take over chat this morning? Lol. Spit Captain, yo. With their vibrant personalities, I suspect. Apple Blossom, there they are. Killing it in chat. Rocky, there you are. How you guys switch places today? Yes, Arcane Divine. We've switched places today. We thought we'd do a couple of things. Rocky's audience traditionally have tuned in for market close, and those in the evenings. It's in the evening time for us here in Scotland. And he graciously gave me his slot last week because much of my audience was his audience, and so he did the channel a big favour there. And now he's gone back to his normal slot in the afternoons. I'm covering market open, which is helpful for a couple of reasons. Rocky's heavily focuses on crypto as well as AMC and GME, so those markets are open in the evening, and it's more appropriate for everyone who's watching him normally to have that slot. So thanks very much for giving me the late slot there last week. Now I'm in the early slot. Also, it means that this channel gets to compete against all the channels doing market open on GME. And that's where I want to be, competing with the people who've got the bigger audiences, for various reasons. You know, I think our TA is up there, and I think our community is fucking awesome. So I thought, right, let's fucking slam it right up against the big guys, the guys that are really raking it in from YouTube, and see how does this community and this value add compare against all these other guys, which I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, you know, like I'm going to try to compete with the best. You know what I mean? So, what's everybody else saying? That's what I mean. Yeah. So Rocky's covering market close, and I'll do market open this week, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah. So thanks for everybody who's helping the channel, sharing the information, hitting that like button, and back to the TA. Whoops, that's not where we want that fib. Mind you, it didn't look so bad. Right. Yes, so our low here, somewhere around there to around here, gives us one of the reasons of the price action might come in at around the 197 area and pause, that being the 618, the golden pocket of our upward fib. The price retracement you're measuring on this is the pullback from this high. So I think we're in a period of positive momentum, and I can see prices have been tapping around this area a couple of times. I expect us on the third shot or the fourth, if we hover there for a while, to shatter this area and move on up. But we might stop around that today. So that's my prediction. 197 spot a tiny little bit. And this 618, this is a golden pocket, so it doesn't just finish there. There's a little bit of turbulence above it, so we may wick into this area up around the 220s and yet still close in around 200 or just under, which I would say is perfectly normal. You know, when prices get drawn to round numbers, and the truth is they actually get drawn a bit above it because people tend to jump in at round numbers too. So I would say that would be a realistic assumption for today's price action, or at least an expectation to measure our indicators against. What else about these fibs? And you've probably seen this when I've been doing them recently. There's also the fib retracement from that high down to the $35 odds level. And you can see that on this fib, we've been supported recently above the 236. And here, this is a good area for support, so thinking that you're going to get trades below 150 odd dollars over the next wee while, be asking something special from price action. And on this particular move that we're going through at the minute, which is a retrace from this high to this low, you can see that we've come back to the 0.5 level on it, and the 618 up here is again around 178, 179. This is the price that we're at the minute, 179.29. This is where we are in the golden pocket of this little fib, and when we break through it, it'll be a quick jump to 186. If you can maintain that level, there might be someone stalling in and around my price target of 197. And if I'm conservative, if I've been too conservative, then the next stop on this move, if we're measuring it using the fibs, is 223. So it may well be that we get some flux in this area. As we say, it's the golden pocket of the upward thrust in fib with this retrace in price downwards, and there's a whole lot of confidences in around that area. So that's the general TA for what we can expect over the course of today. It may be that we put in a high here and around 188. This would be the bearish case, and that side of things, and that would be on a very short-term time frame. Oops, don't want that there. And that fib you would draw in from down here up to our most recent high, and you can see that if I zoom in here and remove this short-term time prediction of today, we can see, oh, I'm going to have to get you over here, buddy. Oh, where is the low on this move? It's over there, yeah. Hey, buddy. So that would be our low. And on this particular move, that would be our high. And we can see that on this move, if this was a high, this the other day here, or no, where is that? Yeah, if this was a high, that's too high. Then again, there's a conflict. There's a reason why you might see that 156 target. That's what we said would be the best buy this week, likely 156. So if some point during the week we get to 156, that might be a good buy if it happens on this particular trending move before we make new highs. If we don't go on to make new highs on this move before retesting it, then it would be in a period of flux. We wouldn't know if we're making higher lows or lower highs, or and so on, which again is likely at the end of a period of consolidation. So there's a chance that we'd see 156. It's not what I'm betting on. In fact, I've bought above there at that price. So if it did go down there, I wouldn't be worried at all. You know, depending on what day of the week it is, I might be able to get more, might not. We'll see what happens. So so that's the idea of like, that's as much of as effort as I'm going to put into doing the technical analysis for the downside, because I'm quite well aware there's a couple of complete fandans who use my technical analysis to play short option trades, and well, I'm not interested in that, those people or their activities. So they can go fuck themselves. And if you're watching now, fuck you. And so anyway, yes. So that's what you might be looking for if you're looking for a good re-entry. But when's that move going to happen? I'm not going to bother even talking about when or why or what the inflections before it might be. I'm just going to keep an eye out. And so, yes. On this move, you might see that. You also might see us coming in and around this level at 178, 79 a few times if we go above it, up to our previous high at around 190. So there could be a $10 of boring price action around here, or there could be a little bit exciting $10 to $15 below or $10 to $15 above. And the chances are we don't get to the exciting stuff, because there are reasons why people might change their mind around here if they're paper-handed bitches. or might be going short if for some reason they've got a test wish. So that's that. And what else are we going to do? Well, we should check out the price action, what it's done in the opening minutes, right? We want to get all psyched and hyped up and oh, brilliant. Ooh, look at that. Look at the prices. They look quite nice actually in there. You guys can't see it because my camera's in the way. I'm going to move that stuff again. And I'm still open to listen to chat about where I should put the camera, the video in picture in picture of me. But I noticed that only less than 5% of people watch this on a television, and it seems to me that the people that watch on televisions don't open their phone and hit like, or don't push the up button and click on the three dots and then go across and hit the thumbs up. It seems like you guys are stingy with your likes. So, but I'm still open. Listen, if it's better for everybody, I'll put it where it suits everybody. That was a joke about people watching on TV. I don't care what medium you use to watch. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. So what else is happening? There was your brief price action predictions for today. What were they? If you're incredibly lucky, you get 156.76. You might get it this week. That wouldn't be out of the picture this week, but it's unlikely you get it today, though it is possible. It's much more likely if you're looking for an entry on the downside today that you get in around 174.33. And if you're watching right from the beginning and we're using my TA to get anything, you'll have seen this go down, be a red candle, pre-market be down, look down, get right to the very bottom. And I said, that's a bounce and it'll be bought. And it was. And today you might get another test of that, but I wouldn't bet on it. So perhaps it's more likely it's 176 after a period of consternation at 179. And prices then go back up again. So there's the two entries I would suggest for today. If you're absolutely desperate to get in on this on the first day of this week, which is hopefully a very exciting week. But if you care about an extra couple of quid and you're waiting to try and get in, then be aware of the fact that this is very volatile price action. Volatility is on the cusp of really causing price action to move rapidly. And so if you fear of missing out, if you feel a lot of that based on potential price action, then don't let that necessarily affect your trades and where you enter, that fear of missing out, but build into your own risk management and position size that consideration that you might not see lower prices. So that's that. And then on the top side, we talked about various areas we'll come in at. Obviously, in the thumbnail, you can see it's 197. That would be really nice price action. That'd be very positive. How that would look on the charts if we closed up and around there would be fantastic. And to do that on the first day of the week would be very positive, especially in the face of what is difficult conditions elsewhere in the market. That would be a really good achievement. In the other side of things, that downward targets are as if this is perhaps a wedge. It may not be. It may be that this, like I was saying, is actually a channel, and that we continue our formation until such times as we touch that 190 area, where we then get a retest down. At that stage, you might expect it to be around then at 180 or gain back where we are. And ultimately, my target's on this move because this is a higher low. And this is tiny time frames, but I think that it's all part of this overall move, which is part of a slightly bigger one on the 4 hours. Then I expect to see us up, tapping 220 areas, and then above there, next target is 279, 350. So there's your targets, there's your price action, there's the reasons why that there's a statistical reliability of certain ones happening more likely than others. And the best possible place that you might like to get in if you're like me and very bullish on the stock. So that's that. What's everybody else been saying in chat? Is there any questions I need to answer immediately? Let's see. I know lots of these channels that I'm saying like, hey, I'm putting myself up against them, like, and I respect these guys. They cover lots of different things, but I'm your GME guy, and so feel free to watch anyone else you like. But I can tell you that if they know what they're doing, these other YouTubers, they'll be copying my technical analysis for GME. If you want me to look at anything else, Tesla. I did think about looking at costs, and I had a bit of an hour or two looking through the short interest on it, the size of the float, the outstanding shares, the institutional ownership, where that ownership was held in mutual funds or otherwise, and tried to gauge my impression of how likely that was for a squeeze. And while there's very large similarities to it and AMC and GME, it is a different play. It's a very different play, based not just on its chart, which is completely different from GME's. It's like completely different. It's not a very old company. They got shafted by its investors and perhaps by somebody working inside the company. And it looks like the people hammering that might not have finished yet. But is it in a volatile, dangerous position? Yes, it is. And I was very interested in looking at it. So that's my take on things. If you want me to look at other things across the markets, I'll happily do that. If you want me to look at the Nasdaq, S&P, SPY, or gold, QQQ, any of these things that you may or may not be interested in, just let me know. But I won't do it for free. I'm not going to do that. You know, this is stuff that I spent years and years learning at some of the biggest, the best places to learn this in the world. I didn't fucking read it on the back of a cornflakes packet. My stuff isn't like the other stuff you're going to see on YouTube. I don't do it for free. I'll do it for free for GME from now until the day I die. Because I like the stonk. And there are other stonks I like, but they're a completely different attitude to me, right? I use them to make money. And so if I'm going to give them to this information to other people to make money, I value that information very highly and myself. So I'm not going to do it for free and that. So that just won't happen. And anyway, so that's that. So everybody's aware of that. That's great. Let it be known, spread the word. I'd be curious about costs. I still have some. You still have some Cachicho Valador. Well, I don't think it's a bad hold. I'm 95% GME, 5% AMC, says Adam. Kim, yes, Space Captain. Hey, he's chatting. Good one. How you doing, Kim? We're talking a look at SPY or another index. What about taking a look at SPY or index? Yeah, sure. What about it? Happy to do it, and don't feel like I'm trying to be wide by saying I'm not doing it for free, because I amn't. I've seen these other guys. I am competing against them. Sure, they might do it for free. And I'm sure you might get some great targets off them. Welcome to watch their stuff. But there's a number of people that I respect on YouTube, and I feel strongly about this. Right, one of them is Rocky Outcrop. I know that the stuff he learned costs years and years and years of his life, and the first job he did doing it, he was being paid many, many tens of thousands of pounds by somebody. Before he even was trained to be even better, and that was years and years ago. And he does his TA amazingly, and will do it most of the time for free for people. The other excellent YouTuber who I'd highly recommend, partly because he's fantastic at what he does, and he's a really good dude. He's a good dude. Is Eric Crown from Crown's Crypto Cave, and don't let that fool you. He's fantastic on stocks. Although his perspective on GME maybe is slightly different from mine. And then Mitch Ray, who, again, he's self-taught, and he's fantastic at what he does when it comes to technical analysis. He knows his shit, and he doesn't piss around. And I've got absolutely no idea what his perspective is on GME, but he's a good guy, so he'd probably be in favour of it. They're the only people I would ever recommend that anybody watches on YouTube for technical analysis that will be reliable. And if you watch all three of those people and me, you'll be fucking minted in not a long period of time. And these people do good work, and I value their work very highly. And I can see that some of them charge lots of money for anything, for even if you want to even look at something. And I think that I'm in that bracket, so that's where I'm staying. And like, if I don't make it, then I don't make it, and that's fine. Live by the sword, die by the sword. I've always said it. But anyone who's tuning in will see the validity of my TA. They'll watch price hit the things I've said. You've already seen it happen today, and it'll continue to happen for the rest of the fucking time. 181.85. Doesn't that look fucking lovely, chat? Did I say it was going to go up there and at the top of that channel? I think I did, and here we are. And it's not a wedge; it is a channel. I drew it out like that because it was going to do this, and here we are. So more power to me and the things I just after saying. So thanks very much for everybody who listened to me spewing shit there. That was very positive. Cheers, guys. And that's those things. So somebody wanted to look at some things. We could look at cost, because I was talking about that. But actually can't be bothered, so I'm not going to. So what's everyone else saying? Paul B, good morning, Jamie. Bing bong. Jesse B trucking. Oh, that's Daniel. Daniel Sands, $5. Yo. Also, this is the thing that I want to. I'm confused. Aren't you already doing this for free, Jamie? Accept us dating, of course. Yes, I am doing this all for free. Yes, of course. This is all for free. It's all for free. I started this channel, and the first 3 videos were how to use TradingView specifically with the purpose of teaching people the best way to manage your trades and how to use alerts. Which, how relevant is all of that now, guys? Huh? Then I made videos on how to measure open interest, because this is the sort of thing I do. These are the sort of things I trade are this, and the same way that some of all of our heroes in this use value, like they're value investors. I take a touch of that sort of thing, and I also play open interest and market dynamics. So this is perfect. This is why I'm in GME, right? This is why I'm in it. So this is the logical flow of things, how it happened. Then I made videos on how people manipulate price action with buy and sell walls, which again is incredibly relevant to this. Yet the GME phenomenon still hadn't started. Then I made videos on for free, telling people like this is a great thing. Then saying when we were up the top of the squeeze, well guys, don't buy it here. You'll be able to get it down at around 40 to 38. Then we got that. Then I said it's going up to 120 odd. And it was going up, and then it went up again. I said we'll get in probably around 135. We all got that. And I've been doing it for free, and started all of this for free, and it is all for free. And you are all very helping me loads by supporting the channel, which is great. So thanks very much. And the Patreon and the donations and the super chats and all that stuff is fantastic, and it's really appreciated. It really helps. Why am I still talking about that? I felt like I've spent fucking more time on that than price action. Anyway, the point being, this is some good shit chat, as everybody knows, who's been here for more than 5 minutes. There is no competition when it comes to GMETA, just reactions to 1 minute candles. Well, we look at 1 minute candles. Is that what people are saying? Oh, I see chat's been moving on faster than I've seen. People have said Tradespotting kicks arse. Thanks very much. Other things, I can't possibly read it. Chat's going so freaking fast here. Is it actually going that fast, or is it just my thing updating? Can't be. There's no way the chat's going that fast. How many people are here? 661. Tradespotting. I just want you to know this is a pleasant ride. Surely that's not going that fast, chat. Are you just going? I can't understand. Maybe I've got chat. I've got a window open with chat here. Oh my god, chat wasn't going that fast. Thank goodness, right? So I can catch up. Tradespotting. I'm going to need you to redirect your frustrations at the hedge funds. Oh yes. So my frustrations at that point were definitely coming across in what I was talking about. What I was trying to emphasize was the GME is the one for me. Really, that was my point. I'm happy to look at other things, but it wouldn't really be my advice you put money into it. I don't have financial advice, but if I did have financial advice, it would be that GME looks better than everything else, right? It's trading with a negative beta. It's got incredible price action on the cards. There's very few other things in the world that have got an opportunity. Someone joined us. Temp, yo, Stephen, welcome to the gang. I can't remember what I was just saying there, but there's shit all worth investing in at the minute, right? There really isn't. Like the idea of a rotation play going out of tech and into dividend stocks. Oh look, look at me in the background. Oh, it's like you could see chat moving fast there. Why is that coming up now? Is that still up? What's Streamlabs? Have I got it massively confusing? Get Streamlabs up. Yeah, it's on the wrong screen. Sorry guys, I'm really messing things up. These early streams. What am I like? I'm surprised everybody's even here. Right. So their stream. That's not correct. That should be right. Am I right? Yes, here we are. And I can move my face now because we do want to see price action. And 180.82, that's very positive. If I go up here, then you guys can see that. That's good. I could even do this. And there we have me. There you have me. Welcome to Chimp Christy. Baba Majama. Say you bought one game at Gamestop. You held
Special edition and you want top dollar. So my question, can you give me your idea of when my game is worth the most? Slightly smiling face.
Slightly smiling face. Right, so she didn't read out the whole message there. Say you bought one. This is Bam Bam Majama. How you doing, mate? Good to see you, buddy. Say you bought one game at GameStop. You held and held, waiting to sell. because it's a special edition, and you want the top dollar. So my question, can you give me an idea of when my game is worth the most? Well, yeah, your game is worth the most when everybody else needs that game and they're not making them anymore. There are some people, some special collectors who'll be desperate to get that game. There'll be other people who just have to play it. You know, they're the sort of people who've gone short on it before, and now they've got no choice because they didn't borrow it off their mate in the first place, and now they have to cover, so they're going to buy that game off you. When do I think that's going to happen? Yeah, so let's take a look at when I think that's going to happen. And here we are back at GME, and I'm so happy again. You see, just even that thought of having to do technical analysis on something that wasn't Gamestop. God, that was like, wow, that was terrible. But here we are back at GameStop. I fucking love this thing. It's beautiful. Let's get rid of these fibs because they're in my face. We've already used them for price action. If you want to know what I think's happening, go back to start the video. And then, ding, you can go away too, mate. So, as you'll have noticed, I put chapters in the other video on Friday. It took me a while to do it because, you know, I was exhausted, and so I got up and edited the next day. It takes a couple hours to do them, but I enjoy doing it because it gets me a chance to catch up with all the things that I miss in chat, because I know I do miss things that fly past all the time. People say my name and say things to me, and I haven't seen them before, and they're in chat saying something. And it's particularly important, I feel like, that I say hello to those people, because they might think that this is some sort of closed little clique, but it's not. It's open to fucking everyone, you know. You're just as much welcome if you've never been as if you've been 10 times, and great to see you in chat, you know. So if you haven't said anything yet, say hello, and I'll either see it in a minute now when I go back, or I'll see it when I'm going through to do the chapters, and I like it and appreciate it. So like, hello to all of you guys, even people who've not chatted, hello. So we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to look at it on the 4 hour because it doesn't make any difference, and that way we've got a better handle on the candle, buddy. Where was our ultimate low here anyway? So I'll start it there and then I'll fix it afterwards, but not move that point. Here it is, right? So I'll fix that in a second, but I needed to get it accurate on the smaller time frame. So not the smaller time frame, on the zoomed in. Oh, it's so zoomed in. Now it's so zoomed out I can't see anything. I'm going to get this onto... Keep it on the linear chart, doesn't make any difference with this particular tool. And then... What's going on with this? Yo, what's going on with the next bit of this? Where are you, mate? Don't make me do it again. I have to do it again because you've not got your bloody bloomin'. Well, here's one example of a fib-based time zone, which would suggest, like, it's, you know... Is it right? No, it's not right, but I can't get this blooming... I have to delete this now and start again. For goodness sakes! Fib-based time zone, so it's somewhere around there, it's somewhere around there, and then somewhere around there. So this is how you do a fib-based time zone. It's not completely accurate because I missed that early section. Where is this? Shall we take it back? Yes. Wait. Let's fix you up. Let's fix you up nice and tidy, shall we? So here's our fib-based time zone. This, in combination with various other factors, gives you an example, or sorry, a narrative that other traders might be following. It outlines periods where you can see a pattern in price action occurring. So you've got your high to your low. Afterwards, you have a period of consolidation. This is very common, and usually it lasts between the 0 and the 3882, which is this area here, which we've just gone through. Then you can expect more volatile prices and prices pushing past support and resistance when you're between the 382 and the 618. It could be drastically up the way, it could be drastically down the way, or it could be constantly hitting at these levels of support and or resistance. And then after that point, after the 618 has been broken on a fib-based time zone, and you're above and or below price support or resistance, then you can expect to see new levels being put in on this move. So that's before your 0 point. So you're looking at beating your highs up around 380 level, 350, that sort of thing. Or you're looking at being back down around 69 level. And you would expect that sort of thing to be happening in and around, if I was drawing this really accurately like I did the other day, in around the 8th or 9th of June, which, as it happens, is when we see other factors that would have an effect on price action, things in the real world, as they say, although all of this measures the real world, you know. So there, and let's see, this isn't completely right. Anyway, point being, even to say like, well, it's not completely right. It isn't inaccurate. And people will be using something slightly similar to this. Why does it keep moving? It's because I moved the other ones or something. Anyway, it's really starting to annoy me, this thing at the minute. And if you were to draw it, like, say, for example, from this area of this low, then you'd expect to see something happening now, you know, between these periods. And here you have it coming up to around the 7th or 8th of July. From now, you might expect to see something crazy happen. Anyway, this is all looking at it on the wrong way. You're supposed to look at it on the daily time frame. You're supposed to put the things in accurately. And if you are to do that, Jamie, the guy asked a question. Anyway, this is your fib-based time zone. You can expect to see something coming up. Let's do this with, I should really just have directed you to the video the other day, Bam Pajama. See, that's just... like, this is as close as I'm getting it. 17th of June, you expect to see stuff, and that would be a resolution period. These things generally, prices are at a resolution period at that point, so they'll be up high. Like, for example, the way you mark them in obviously defines where the first one is, but it's on a big move in and of itself, and you expect on those periods, price bars on these periods, to be bigger ones. And that's how people look at it. They look at these as watershed moments that people will have made their mind up by now. And it's true that in this period of time between the first point in your 382 is when most people have got no idea what's going on. And as the bull flag shows, might last that amount of time. Could I actually make this better? I don't want to make this episode shit for everybody by spending loads of time trying to get a fib time zone look good. But, it's up to you guys in chat. Is there something else you'd like to look at? I'm happy to talk about that too. Why is that over there? Sure, I put that in the right place a number of times now. Go, Coco. Right. This is looking terrible, so I'm going to get off. Anyway. So for some reason my time zones aren't particularly good at the minute. Bye bye Majama. But we did one the other day, it looked like the 7th to 8th of June, and you see this one here, based on these highs and lows. Move every frickin' time I move one, it moves the other. So say around the 21st, so a lot of people will be telling you that June is a big month for price action, based on the AGM, based on the votes everybody's doing. Vote, there's an old saying in Ireland, vote early, vote often. So after that we can expect to see some moves. And so what's everybody else's predictions on when you can expect to see that? Look, stop it, Fib time zone, so annoyed with you. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to pretend I never did that today because it's done my head in so much. Let's look at something else that might give us an understanding of, so it'll also probably turn out terrible and look terrible. Let's give us also look at the Fib circles, will we? These are the things that even I put a little, even I question the odd time. It's old news, isn't it? So a couple of ways you could do this. Anyway, you draw the price action left to right, and you draw from highs to lows. All of these particular moves are out, but you can add in new a wider circumference on it. That wouldn't be the way you do it. So anyway, you see that how this works, right? Drawing from high to low, and then as prices cross through the circumference here, that's when you expect to see a high or a low on price action. So the moves before it, generally speaking, during these periods are where you see the volatility in price, and then on it you either see an inflection point or, well, yeah, it's an inflection point. The trend either strengthens or ends, as you can see here. It strengthened down the way, got back here, that upwards trend stopped here, down again, inflection point. And so that's how you would use a fib circle over that period of time in the past on price action. So let's say we draw one of these silly sort of things on the daily chart. Will we do it on the daily chart? We'll take we'll do it completely differently. From the lows. High. No, we can't do that. It just won't work for previous price action. But we can do it over here on our current prices and draw in a high and a low. Where is the... pardon me. So let's do it on our current highs and lows and draw a wee fib circle in here and see how silly it looks, right? So here's your low of this move. Here's your high. And as I was saying in the video I've seen about this, I hate the way that these fib circles look. It's really 80s, especially on the white background chart. So if you're not on a dark mode, this can look awful. So the first thing you cross on this that's like the significant target is your 1618. As you can see, that's here, and that'll come in and around, depending, like it's a circle, right? So it doesn't necessarily say when you're going to hit it, but you can see as price action. If we're up here, we'll hit it sooner. If we're down here, we'd have hit it already. You know, the most furthest away point that you're likely to break that 618 or where it'll be at is defined by the high and the low, because it's a circle, right? So over here, on the 7th to 8th of June. It's also another reason why in that period of time you could expect to see this price action resolve. Either that trend strengthen significantly, or you might see it pause and reverse. But let's imagine it was to strengthen. That would take our prices to this, above where they are now. So we could expect to see something in and around, you know, if that moves positive on the 7th, 8th of June, if that sort of time turns into a strengthening of the price afterwards, and the thrust of price action, it might be that we see those 220 levels in and around, you know, a week to a week and a half later on the 18th of June. So this is what their fib circle would tell us, that if you're looking to judge where this particular move is going to go in the near to medium term, then it does suggest that we're going to try in and around these levels. It's then the statistical likelihood of that trend continuing increases if you've got one and then the other. So then you would think, well, it's even more likely it's going up to hit the edge of this 3618. No, that's the 2618, 3618, 42. Right. So then you might think it's coming up here, and like these numbers are similar to what you'd see on a fib retracement, but not like the 1414 is less of a target for people. Same with the 214. It's all about the 618s. Again, that's because it's a circle. Anyway, so you'd be looking at that sort of thing, and in the background you can see I've got the Bollinger Bands on daily time frame. They're now used for predicting future price action, but if you were to look at them, like now, what should we do with this? Shall we keep it on the charts? It's a lot less embarrassing than those fib time zones I just did, so we'll keep it on, but we'll turn this down because I don't see that much of it. And we'll get rid of the background. Where is that? There it is. So there you go. And now anyone who looks at this chart is going to think I'm crazy because hardly anybody uses fib circles. That looks good. Right, so that's the fib circles. That's the sort of that. What is it going to be worth the most, right? So that's a different question. That's maybe like, when is the top of the squeeze coming? And for that, you would have to, again, right? Maybe you would use those fib time circles. Maybe that'd be a different type, and maybe you would, a resolution of this pattern would come in and why is that like that? So this is a smaller one. A resolution of this would be taking us into a bit larger fib circle. And depending on when these moves were happening, that's not there. Obviously, it's back before even then. And then you could draw other fib circles on. You'd say, there's your bigger one. Around the 24th of August, that sort of time. So if, say, for example, these fib circles, which aren't the be-all and end-all, you'd need loads of other confluent factors to get there. And like this is predicting future price action way in advance, and using time horizons is very difficult. Not difficult, it's very... You need lots of confluent factors to predict price moves based, and a fib circle isn't enough on its own. Neither is 2 or 3 that look good. But it is something I would have used when I was saying that this move here, this low to this high, and I was saying, you'll notice if you go back on my videos and say the one in around this February prices, and I said that, we're going to get an entry around $38 to $40. We're going to get that. I said that when we were up and around here, and I said not only is that going to happen, but I said it's going to happen in and around the 18th to the 23rd of February. That's what I said, and then that happened on that date. And so if it stays true, and I'm not saying that I'm amazing, I'm saying if that is the world we're in, where people are using these things and it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, the trend is continuing through this and subsequent. This is the one we're most recently in. There's another one here. If you work, draw your study of conflicts. If you're going to draw another one in, you put it in like in around here, and you can see again that's got reasons why it might be happening, right? So like now that looks really stupid, and it reminds me of the conversation we had last week about UFOs. But these radial outlines give you some impression of when things might happen. So like these outer lines, and this will be like the 5618 and 4618 out here. 4236 4618. So that's like the ultimate target on this fib circle is that rim. So afterwards you'd be looking at something like Elliott wave to continue the thrusts on, or Gantt theory, or many other things. So why was I making this point? Yeah, so if this continues to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, which so far it is doing, then it may be that the squeeze is like begins with some sort of cascading start through either the liquidations or just apes just constantly buying it and the float disappearing, which is, we can see, is happening a lot. And I'll talk about that again in a minute. And then anyway, yeah, for fuck's sake, like I can't be arsed explaining every fucking little thing, especially when you could look this shit up if you're interested in it, and like you all really want to know is what the answer to your Bama Jammas question was, which is when I can expect it to be worth the most. Well, let's say the squeeze happens and it's triggered by the AGM, and then it's a series of cascading liquidations and retraces on the move, and a Brew Elliott wave takes us up to some of the targets we're talking about sometime at the end of it, like during this summer. That thing might take a number of weeks, and so it may well be that some version of the squeeze comes in and around that time. Like it's very difficult to give you any sort of an answer to that question, and this shit is like a contrivance to try and do that, rather than like Ryan on like, certainly, like I was saying, you can't use these alone to take trades, certainly. Then like an answer I could give you to that question, which is tough, it's tough to give a technical analysis reason for why this is the area where we might see some good part of the squeeze, the MOAS squeeze as well. It's very difficult to give TA on that. But with a combination of like time analysis, we can make some predictions, and I wouldn't put my reputation on the line by saying it. But look, in and around July, end of July, August, it might be a great time to be a Gamestop holder. It's already a great time, but it might be incredibly fun at that point in time. So that's like an answer to Bam Bam Pajama's question. When might his Gamestop shares be worth shitloads? Okay, so I've probably missed other chats. I have there. Jason Gilbertson. Yo, that sounds like a very Scottish name. Can you look at TWTR? I believe they are pumping to dump it. A natural price action. I would love your thoughts at Rocky Outcrop at Tradespotting. Okay, excellent. TWTR. What's everybody else saying? Just to quickly up here, scroll past, see anything. Oh, got How's Gaming High? This is Batman Majama, Jabba Jama. New account. Sorry for the dumb question. Yo, and a donation again. You didn't need to do that, buddy. Thanks very much. I hope that it wasn't a dumb question at all, and it was probably a dumb answer. Certainly felt dumb when I was fiddling around with a constantly moving fib time zone. M.A. Campbell, just $10, no words. That's very generous of you. Thanks. But Campbell, why did I say that again? Campisi. Thanks, buddy. Hi, Jamie, says Graham. Hi, Graham. How you doing? Hi, live at Tradespotting. Yo. Hey, bro, keep it real, Jamie. Dark Diggler, yo, how's it going, Dark? Good to see you. Kevin, Flamingo Gorilla, nice. Hello. All these people saying hello. Thanks. 751 viewers. Wow, there's even more people viewing. Wow, that's fucking crazy. How comes there's so many of you? Thanks so much. Space Captain, 700 watching. Go, Jamie. Thanks, Space Captain. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Remember, if you're in chat, I'm going to ask a chap's question about 2WTR. If anyone else wants to ask anything or say hello or whatever, I'm at chat now, so try and catch up with you. I still own a steel copy of Pac-Man. What? For the Atari 2600 from the 80s, so keep hodling. Wow, that was amazing playing that computer, Rocky, and I loved that Atari. Good on you. Well done. Keep hodling, mate. That's fantastic. Plus, it's really special to have something like that. That's awesome. I've Nav and Ethan, who's sometimes in this chat, who's a really good member of Rocky's community. He's got us into NBA Top Shop, and I thought at the start, like, oh, I'll just buy these things because like their basketball cards are obviously going to go up in worth of money in the future, and it's $9 for a pack, like for the cheap base sets. Like, just buy them out your face, right? That was my idea. And then, wow, like 2 weeks in, I was like, I am a huge basketball fan. And I'm never selling these things. And then I was on the marketplace trying to get all the good ones. Happy to be here. Thanks for doing this, Jamie. Thanks very much, Christy. Oh, yeah, you joined up today as well. Thanks very much. Future Catman, E.T. for Atari. Oh, God, don't get me talking about Atari. Battletoads, fuck yeah. If we're going to go back in time and talk about old computer games, and I really, really, really always wish that somebody would make a version of Mutant League Football. Was that what it was called? And they're all like, you throw the football and you'd be able to like set it up so that the football was actually like a bomb or whatever, and it'd blow the guy up that caught it, and then you'd come in, you'd crush the guys. I can't remember what it was called, but it was amazing. It just wasn't your reviews pictures. I am. There's Batman Pajamas, so you bought one. So that's it. So yeah, Batman Pajamas' initial question, which wasn't dumb at all. It was what loads of people are asking, like when, and if I'd probably misunderstood it, mate. So if you want to ask it again, go right ahead, and you don't need to pay. That's like, if it's about Jamie, asking when it's going to be worth the most, and like, I've got absolutely no idea. And what I did there should not be taken, should be taken with a huge mountain of salt. But it's one technical analysis explanation for where and when you might expect to see positive price action if this positive thrust continues. And this is a very positive thrust. All of that was done on a linear chart, right? Partly because I knew that... hello, chart. Where are you? Partly because I knew that it looked... slightly different on log, as you can see, and it's just too much to see there. Actually, go away, and then let's see this properly. There, even better. Right, yeah. So I didn't want to do it just on log because I mean, some people might get carried away. Right, this is obviously a very positive price action. If you look at this, is log chart means the relative increase from prices over time, which means it's more accurate representation of what's actually happening. Another way of saying that is the trend. You know, how do you measure the trend? Well, these are one of the ways of doing it. And the easiest way is looking at it on log, and as you can see, that's a trend. Right, so really, this isn't all that crazy. It's just a continuation of everything we've seen since last November, right? It's like, you know, so not that bad. Right, so I was going to look at TWTR. And I think, did I ask her another question? Did I answer a question in that? Was there another question? Was there? Church Grips Christie to Chimp. Before that, good morning, brother, from GME Silverback. I missed that. Cheers, GME Silverback. Good morning to you too, mate. Why did the text-to-speech not read things out and read other things out? Morning, Jamie. Thanks, David P. Good to see you, mate. Apple Blossom. Tradespotting. I'm going to need you... All right, okay, so I'm back here. I've covered all that. I've got all that. And this guy's message out was very generous of Campisi. Very generous again. Bam Jama. Thanks very much. And then... Look at that now. Can you look at TWTR? Yes, mate. That's what I'll go straight onto. Whoa, big gap. Well, I mean, sorry, I haven't looked at this chart before, so if you give me 2 minutes to get up to speed with it, I'll be able to answer your question better. Oof. Mm-hmm. So this is an interesting chart. This is a great one. Thanks for asking for it, pal. Expect to see another test of 76.14. 157, 156 and change is your upside targets. On the downside on this move, wow, it would be great to get an entry at 35. Chances of that are very unlikely. Also be good to get an entry at 42. Chances of that slightly more likely, but still not likely. It may have bounced off of 382 and be on and be a way off already. I wouldn't chase it, so what would I say about this? Pardon me. Well, I'd say thanks to everybody who's followed me on Twitter recently. That really helped. And if I ever get ditched on YouTube, which may well happen because YouTube decided it didn't like my me letting me collect advertising revenue on my videos recently. I think it was my most recent one, with help from Alex. That video that with Doom and whatnot in it. So if I'm not on YouTube, I'll still be on Twitter, and if I get a bigger, get everybody on Twitter, then if and when YouTube ditch channels, everybody can shout at them on Twitter, and eventually they take you seriously, but they don't seem to through the self-reporting mechanisms and whatnot. So I was a little bit eager there to get a larger Twitter following, and hundreds of you came over the weekend. So thanks very much. That's awesome. Also, I try to be reasonably entertaining on there, and I can be really wide and swear and stuff. So some of my tweets are quite funny. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's _Jamie_Curran. So that's my first thing I say about Twitter. Second thing I say about Twitter is this is a fantastic trending move. Again, we're looking at it on a log chart because we know what we're doing here. And what can we say? Well, we can say it's had a fucking amazing recovery. What happened? Did they get that was a really good double bottom re-entry here with right, that was very positive too. And that. And sure, that's obviously looks bad, but it would, wouldn't it? And so we retested our all-time highs. I mean, you would go through it on the wick, but maybe even closed above it, which would be very positive. But that was a very good move. So if this is still, which it, it's hard to know, right? We've gone, but let me just look at previous price action on this. Is that the right one? No, it's not this one. Sorry, mate. I'm just going to check how this performed previously. So from its low, it came up, did another low, great, got back to that area, went down to the 236, continued, didn't stop. Then it went up, came back down to the 236, continued, didn't stop. Then it went on again, had to retrace all the way down to the 0.5. At that point, it came back up and retested. So if we're looking at the GME chart, This is where we are now on this GME chart. Is but we're on here on Twitter, right? We did what would be considered the cup and handle thing. We had the 50% retrace off the cup with handle, and then the move up, and that measured move on that is actually what's 60% of that. Just by eye, it's something like that, isn't it? Oh, the log chart, of course.
Last week, under your breath, and you and Rocky need to do a full-length show doing fibbing.
Fibbing. Let me get back to see what that said in 2 seconds. I didn't quite catch it, because the lady only likes to read out the second half of sentences for some reason. It's like it reminds me of a girlfriend I used to have. Anyway, so yeah, it went beyond the measured move on that there, on the log chart, right? It's a relative move. Let's take this back to a linear. So these things aren't quite so hard to see. Whatever. Anyway, don't mess me around, line. Yeah, so the measured move on that, we did all of that. We had a successful cup and handle. That went all well. So this is, like I was talking about this on GME earlier, and why I was drawing targets up in an area as I was, that because of this sort of thing, right? These moves have a degree of statistical reliability, and this one was obviously very good, so anyone who was in on this, well done. The thing that worries me about this is, let me see on the daily, that's the weekly chart, right? So I'm not actually worried, right? That's the wrong word, but the thing that I would look about this move that would give me pause for thought is, can you possibly get a better entry on Twitter than where the price is right now? That's what I'm trying to say. And the feeling that I get about it is, yeah, you can. I think you might well be able to get in because it's gone beyond the 236, and it's also like below the 0.5. And sure, it's come back up and we're at 382. I'd say you're also like hitting on the daily chart, you're just resting now on the 20 period moving average. And this recovery that you would call, if you were to call this recovery, is it bullish engulfing? Quite possibly, it was debatable, in which case it's not like definitive, and so like if it's ambiguous, it's rarely very strong. So it may well be that this was the entry, right? It's already got here though. I would have, if before the price got to this 50% retrace and having been in the cup and handle and so on, it's following that pattern at the minute. I would have said that's probably your first entry point, but I might have actually also scaled some orders in here, which is where this move put in its previous low is the 618, and you may still get some sort of divergent bottom, right? Price action can come down again. The RSI isn't on the charts at the minute. MACD's crossed over there, so that's very positive. But the point, actually, let me check that with it. Above the 200, price was below it as the price crossed, so that might not be as efficacious, yeah. And we're hitting the 21 moving average and the 20 there. And there's a negative cross coming in the 55. Yeah, so it may well be that there's another thrust down to in and around 44.50, at which point I'd be checking to see if there was a bullish divergence on that move. It could even possibly come lower, because this is the golden pocket, and take it right down to say something in and around 41. 41. That would be a fucking awesome entry on this if this move continues, which it might well do, because that when we got up here on the daily chart, I mean, we can't bother going back over to the left because I've already fiddled around too much today with this sort of stuff. You can see that we actually brought trading to a close above our previous highs, which is positive. And subsequent to that, as if trading view. Yeah, so that wasn't a divergent top. So a 50% retrace, that might be all you get on that. So like this is the thing, right? If I'd looked at this maybe a week ago, I would have suggested 50. Now I don't want to chase prices, and we're already at the 382, so we're underneath a number of moving averages. We haven't had. I mean, there's a touch of hidden bullish divergence there too, so we might not get back down. But this thing has, as we've seen it, its ultimate low retested the bottom. It's not uncommon for the market participants in this to play it that kind of way, and because of the stock it is, that's not a surprise. So you know, my particular trading style wouldn't be to chase this price action at all, despite the fact that I think that this is a positive move that could go on much further. Where did we say our targets? Did we give targets for this already? I think we might have done. Did I give targets for this when I was first looking at it? $100. I don't remember saying that. I'll give targets for the upside in a second. Right, so yeah, so mate, if I was to get, like, I mean, I might not be giving you the best advice here in that you might not get this entry. But I don't chase price action personally, and if I was going to be trading this, which I haven't, I have to be honest, but if I was, because I've got other ideas, but if I was trading this, I think it'd be a positive move would be to try an entry in around the low 40s, maybe. You know, where would you put that? If you got opportunity for, like, if you were trading this with a stop loss too, what would you look at that? Actually, it's a 4 hour for a stop loss area. Yeah, that would be a good fake out down there. So you'd maybe put your stop loss below this area of horizontal support that I put in near the start of looking at this. Somewhere, your stop loss might be below there, like 37. But then your risk reward to that trade, what would it be? I'll check that again in a second and we'll look at the upside targets. So like there's your entries, right? If you look last week, I would have suggested here with a stop here. Now that this has all happened and I don't chase price action, my entry would actually be there looking for a bullish divergence. When I'd want my stop below there to save me from that move. Unless, of course, I wanted to just hold Twitter forever, which I don't, because Twitter's the sort of thing that I could for years go sideways. So, but in this particular move, I'd use a stop and I'd aim for it to be in around there. My price targets on that move, I mean, if you're just going back to your previous highs, which is possible that you go up and around there with a bearish divergent top and come back down again, then you know, you might have a profit taking target in around there, depending on how you play these things. So this would be the move that I'd be suggesting, something like this. With some people taking profit there, and your stop. Oh, did it put my stop in the right place? No, somewhere around here. That's a risk reward ratio 7 to 2.1. What a friendly number, eh? Fucking trading view. 7 to 1 more or less, and around there. That would be your take profit area for on that particular, like on this support and resistance side of things. But if you're actually looking at this as a long-term play, is that your entry? Well, on the 4 hour, lower, not necessarily, right? So like hidden bullish, or is it bearish convergence? It's not bearish convergence, but that was strong there. Like, you've got a trend line there, obviously. It's 4 hours, but still, it's real. Coming down there again, that might be that might be like what you see is that the price action comes down to that target. At the same time, your RSI only really makes it to the top of this bearish control zone, or maybe just to the center line, but perhaps there. Price action at that stage is at the same place. I mean, you might only get to like 48, 78 or something. At which point, then you'll have some bullish divergence. This looks like a good entry from here. I'd pay attention at the time, but you'd be looking at a trade that at least had to take you around that sort of support and resistance. Some people would be paper handing out of that 72, which is fine because it's Twitter in it. So, like, fuck them. It's about you when you're trading Twitter. And then, what did I say? I was going to look at upside targets. So that would be like that move. If you're really, really playing this, you know, and you had maybe like a take profit for 30% of your trade at that area, and you were like me, right? You would then have a trailing stop, or you'd use William Fractals to manage your exits on this particular asset. And then at that point, you'd be looking at price targets up at back of this ultimate Fib retracement here. You'd be looking at the 414, and you'd be thinking Twitter at $100, Twitter $100. That's what you'd be thinking. You might on that same move end up at around 115, 116. I expect, you know, things to come back around $100. Test that again. It's Twitter after all. So, and then you might actually take a trade in around here that you have until up in the 178s, and that might happen, right? But what sort of timeline are you looking at on that? Well, it's too difficult to tell with Twitter because of the news catalysts and all the rest of it, and tech at the minute, I would say I'm not going to do time horizon on that. Just use it, manage it with stops. That's what I would do. And if it was winning, I'd let it run. So that's Twitter. What's everyone else saying? I got another message here. I hope that was helpful, mate. If it wasn't, just let me know and I'll look at some other aspect of it. I didn't really go right down to the tiny time frames. Where is that Twitter message? Oh, wait a minute. Am I missing something in the chat here? I'm seeing that. Somebody definitely paid me to look at it, but now I can't see that. Here it is here. Banana Jama 10 minutes ago. Can you give me TMI games? If I show you them on this... Oh, and by the way, I caught you saying August last week under your breath, and you and Rocky need to do a full-length show doing Fib and Elliot charts on both stocks. That would be great. We could do that, yeah. And we were thinking of doing things at the same time, so perhaps we could pop in on each other's channels and then say hello to people in each other's audience. That might be nice. So I'll get back to chat in a second. So somebody asked me about Twitter. I know that happened. I didn't just fucking imagine all that, did I? Where is this chat? Why won't chat load? Bad Mama Jama gave me another $20. What are you doing, Bad Mama Jama? Spend it on people that love you. I do love you, though. 8 banana, rocket. Why didn't it read that out? I'd love it if it read that out. I am very bearish on Twitter. All right, Jason's bearish on Twitter. Right, cool. Well, let's look at the bearish thesis for Twitter. I don't know who asked me this. Where is it? It was Jason Gilbertson. Oh, right. And can you look at Twitter? I believe they are pumping to dump it. Unnatural price action. I'd love your thoughts. Oh, right. And Rocket Crop too. Unnatural price action. So let's look at that. Unnatural. Well, there wasn't... This is why I think there might be another retest, because there wasn't any desperate reason for prices to turn around there at that area. It was below the 200. The cross on the MACD... This is the bearish thesis, right? The cross in the MACD is not efficacious because the price was below the 200 when it happened, so it's not a buy signal. So if people are trading it for that reason, it's wrong. What does that suggest about the momentum? Well, it suggests the momentum is continuation. It's like confidence the momentum is going to continue downwards. And what would that look like on the MACD? Well, you're already in a trend. It would look like that. It would look like somewhere in and around here. And if this was to uncross, as prices were then below the 200, that would be a sell signal. And if that comes in when the momentum's like way down here, stuff could get bad, right? That is possible. I don't know what you mean by unnatural price action quite yet, but let's look through it. That's not particularly... prices turning around where they have done, that it doesn't jump out, like you'll see me looking at it, didn't jump out like there was particularly a reason for that to have happened. Other than the 50% retrace on the fib for the cup and handle, which it may be doing, right? It may be doing that. And there's a case to be made for that. But that was the bullish thesis. This is the bearish one. That's not bad, that actually. As it happens, this isn't bad. This doesn't scare me. Though it hasn't given a sell signal yet. If it did, it would. And at the minute, I don't think that's too bad. What does it look like compared to over here, though? You've got a degree of bullish divergence throughout these lows here. Right, this is here, your MACD, the momentum's lower, but the price isn't. So I suppose if you consider this an uptrend, that's hidden bullish divergence. There's a reason why that and the 0.5 is a reason why this would have been an inflection point, and some people would have closed shorts. Perhaps they're thinking like, and if you are bumping this down, right, and if you're a big player bumping this down, you do take profit there, and then you do bid offers, take offers here, right? Take everything on the fucking books at that price, offer lower, take offer, fade the price, right? Everyone does that. So if you're going short, that might be something, and those might be the people who are taking profit, and they're taking it when the prices have been below the 200. You know, it's obviously going to test back up. So suppose still at that stage wasn't a negative splay in all your EMAs, so it's like statistically it's a good thing to do. It may be that what you might think that this turnaround was unnatural. That's what I'm focusing on based on your message. I can look at this positive thrust in a second, but if that's the case, then people aren't going to be watching this because they're only interested in 678. There are still some people. Anyway, to answer your question, Jason, I can see why you might think that's unnatural, but you would have to judge it here. This would be the place where you would think like, well, do prices turn around if you entered that trade, and maybe there's your long. If that works out, great. There's your stop loss, and you've got It's a 7-to-1 trade, right? That's pretty good. Most people could fit that into their trading strategy if they had one. And right, so that's that. And then alternatively, if you want to trade this short, your retest of the 21, you're up at the 382 again. Your short position is somewhere around here, right? You'd enter there, and you'd have your stop loss. That's quite high though, isn't it? Yeah, this is hard to play short. Let's just take it from the resistance line at the demand line. You don't desperately need to get into this quickly, and if you're playing things short and you're eager to get into trades, then you'll get wrecked quickly. So then I would say, perhaps I would take an entry around here, some sort of fake out break of this, expecting there to be like bearish, and there might well be, I'm not sure you can see that there might well be like a degree of bearish divergence here on the MACD. This looks like it's coming in for a touch. The ADX is like here's something to look at that's really unnatural. Actually, I'll check that out in a second. Well, maybe it's not. Is that divergent? No. Maybe that's not that bad actually, but I will look at this in a second because the ADX looks strong there, and that's not great for this downtrend. This downtrend could easily continue here. The question is, if you were desperate to short this, where do you get in? Right, there's your first option. Second option is in around shorting it from 66.66, which would be kind of funny to short something from 66.66. So if you're a meme lover, then maybe you take that. I might. And if not, then you're looking at 64, 63, 72, that sort of an entry. This is for a safer stop, right? Because your stop can't be up around these levels if you want to make money. It has to just beyond resistance. This would also be breaking out of this downward trend, and that might be fine, right? You could easily manage a stop there if you were desperate to short this. Or you could just watch it as it's happening, right, and just jump in with the market order. But that would be what I would look at if I was looking for a short. And where would I be going with it? Well, it would depend, right? I mean, there's your full retrace on the fib. Am I looking for that? No, let's draw in the fib and see. Depending on what side, there's no divergence like here at this top, so it's difficult to pull a long, like a really good move off a short on this. It's be even really difficult to imagine it getting all the way back to this re-entry at $20. That'd be crazy looking at this. Unless Twitter's secretly fucked. Price action does say that we're in a downward trend. Could take us down there. So yeah, I'd probably take this trade to in and around the same levels where I'd be looking at that entry on the long. I'd have a take profit on my short at around $46. That would be then, or what you could do is you could use these trades in conjunction, right? Plenty of people will do this, right? They'll take a short here or hereabouts when the price is at the 382 already, right? Some people aren't even going to wait for that. They'll just enter here. Also, we're hitting these moving averages. It's a trade I might take, especially if I was planning on covering it here with that long. And then you can play a hedge, right? You can play that for as after you've got both of those trades, you can play it as long as you want, right? There's something in there. You could manage your position. Who knows how you could handle that over time? That might turn out great for you. So, there's your bearish and bullish and how you could play them both together. As with regards to unnatural price action, that's bearishly divergent, that high to that high. I mean, that line between them is stupid. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done it like that. I should have just used this. This is your previous high. This is your new high. And if you look at the RSI down here in the bottom, you can see that your strength is that thrust here was stronger than this thrust, but this thrust went further, which is divergent. I would say that the buying pressure, like the buyers left the market here, and just maybe even here, yeah. And this move is to a degree unnatural. You're right, Jason. That's a good shout. So this move's unnatural. This turnaround is not strong enough. This thing's going to go down maybe. And there's your long. If you were taking a long, you can't go any further than where I'd suggest this stop anyway. And there's your stop. It might be eager to play it now, and that's what you're talking about. And some people will be doing that, and that's a good play. Maybe it works out. It's already dropping, I see. Maybe some people are taking that, but that's that's the long and short of it, mate. What was the other questions? Bad Mama Jama, I got that. Can you give me tea in my games? If I show you them on this, Oh, and by the way, I got you, let's say August. Okay, right, so we got that. Speak to you soon, Bam Bam Pajama, about your particular trades. Got a new subscriber. Whoa, brilliant. Thanks, mate. Who was that? Lots of bananas in chat. That's what I like to see, Space Captain. Thanks for keeping it going. Thanks for treating chat to everyone. Rocky and welcoming people. Hi, Sean. That's by my jams with Unkies, the bananas, and the apes. Thanks so much. And why do I not get notifications down here? I understand. But that's I got a new member. I saw it on the thing. Thank you very much. Right, so did anyone else want me to look at anything? Let's see how things work out for Twitter, right? I do TA on lots of things, you know, all the time. That's how I make my money. When I live my life, I don't get it from YouTube. That's not me expressing frustration. I'm quite happy with my job. I love it. I've done this for 10 years, more. I love this job. Oh, I have got a message. No, it's not. It's the same one. Okay. So let's see how things work out on Twitter. Quite happy to stand by both of those predictions, the long side and the short side. Right, you take profit on some of the long, in case things go on up above. At least take your own investment off the table, unless you're left with a free trade. If you're not, you know, that would be positive. And then you can also have got something that you're using to cover your short, which you're opening here. And I'd suggest that's even more likely to get the extended move all the way down. Don't think it's going to $20 though, but you know. GME, shall we look at some GME? Yeah, let's look at some GME. Sorry for taking us off there, but just a good chance to have a wee little brief look at something else that somebody else liked. 182.49. Look at that, chat. What? Don't look at that. What's that? Thanks very much for bringing me back to GME. I'm very grateful. So that's positive. Looking at daily time frame, we're not going to see much there. Well, that's been a good hour so far. I didn't really look at the DMI on Twitter, though I said I would, but then, you know, shit happens. Look, this has just turned blue. That's very positive. DMI, the ADX, sorry, part of the DMI has crossed through the center line. It's gone blue, as that's what happens when it crosses through the center line. And that's in reflection of a strengthening of the trend. That trend is positive. And despite being up here and above the 30, this is the thing with this indicator. When the in particular when the ADX, but when your DI plus is above the 38, 39 level, and your ADX is, if that comes up there, this is going to be a fucking explosive move. The GME's, like, thumbnails and that, I was trying to get, emphasize the fact that this week looks really fucking good for GME, like really fucking good. God, I'm sick of looking at things like Twitter all the fucking time. Not all the time when I'm not doing these videos, so it's nice to be back looking at something like, nice to be back home. Right, what else will we look at on GME? Let's go down to 15 minutes and see if we're getting any signals. Well, that's really strong. Whoa, this is really strong. What's our MACD saying? We looked at this earlier, didn't we? Well, these candles did turn into a weakening of negative momentum, chat. That did happen, and we had a positive cross on the MACD and signal line. That isn't enter a trade sign, unfortunately, because it has to happen below the center line. But we're above the 200, so 2 out of 3 isn't bad. It's not a confluent factor. You couldn't use it as a trade. In fact, it would invalidate my strategy. That's not how my edge works, but I'm obviously already one. And then, so this is, again, a strengthening of the trend, which is to the upside. That's like referenced by the upward slope on these two. And then what's your RSI saying? Let's look at this properly. Oh, look at that, chat. We said that, didn't we? We said this is the head and shoulder, and this is going to come down and put in another one. Did do that. Did it. And it was going to fail, we said, because it was the center line. That fucking happened. Wow. Hey, right, so we're up at this zone, right? This is very positive price action, right? If you see the RSI get into the oversold zone, drop out of it, immediately turn around and go back in again. That's really positive. If you see that at the same time as the strengthening of the trend in the DMI and you're at resistance already, that's exactly what you want to see, right? That's two confluent indicators that measure separate things like volatility. It's volatility plus strength of trend. I mean, this is actually a trend strength indicator, but Rocky's built stuff in that gives you a hint of volatility, which would be, at the minute, isn't looking so bad, but may come in at the end of, there may be a period inflection there. Also, the strength of the trend here measured by the RSI is very positive, and the MACD momentum's increasing 2 out of 3 of its things, so that's positive. And that what matters here is that those sort of things are happening as we're actually sitting above like a degree of resistance. You know, on some time frames we're above the resistance here at 180 is above it, so that's super positive. What we'd really like to see is pushing up to the 188 level. It's quite easy to imagine that we'll test that without much of a move back here. What does this look like? 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That was bearish. But we're above it and stronger. And that was the center line. Right, yeah. Good. Whoa, that's good. Let's draw a wee mini fib on here. Let's see what exactly we got back down to on that one. The 0.5, yeah, we talked about this earlier, right? So that's there. And if to say this is to go up to its previous high, then you would expect afterwards to maybe see us in it again around 180s this price. So this example of what's probably going to happen here is price action is probably going to do that, and then it's probably going to do that, and then it's probably going to do that. At which point we'll then again check down here and see if there's any divergences and so on. Like, this is what I was talking about would be good to see, if you remember, that we would have some sort of what would look like a bounce here. And this is very positive too. It's the same story with the RSI that we're in back above these zones. Yep, things looking good, chat. Things looking good. 181.50 on the GMEs. If I move, yeah, I'm still there, so you can see the price underneath me. Awesome. So it's been there, and I've been a big picture of me today, so you can see me slightly better. And you may have noticed that I've got a shirt on because I was trying to work. Right. Internet meetings, and they weren't with internet buddies like you guys. They were real different kind of vibes. So what's everybody else saying, chat now? Have I missed anything important? Quite possibly. I don't want to have space captain see your name so much. Thanks for doing so much in the chat. Isabel, bananas again. Right, I'm cut back all the bananas. I remember those bananas in that time. The Zig, hello Scotland. Hi from Scotland, Zig. I have one other channel, as I'm considering doing the Wheel of Time TV videos when TV series launches. Lol, to satisfy my inner fantasy novel geek. Yeah, Rocky would have been one of the very first people to be reading that book, and he's a huge fan of the series. And I think it's going to be good, and I think anyone who likes his personality will like his take on it. Plus, I think you're going to like that TV show. It's got a story there is not unlike a story we're watching. And so, yeah, check out Rocky's channels. Share them in chat there, Rocky. The links to them, so everybody's able to see it. And today for market close, Rocky will be taking on GME, and he's got some nice things he'd like to talk about. So you'll enjoy that show. He's at market close. I won't spam, but AMC is going for a walk. You don't have to spam. Maybe I didn't see earlier. That looks good on AMC, doesn't it? Fuck yeah! Look at this. Eat shit, fuckers. This is brilliant. Above the 200 now as well. Yeah, that was important. That happened. Fuck yeah! Rocky's gonna love looking at this later. You seeing this, Rocky? You'll be delighted. Look at that. Oh, right up testing fucking resistance. That was an amazing start to the day. Quite easily that could have pulled back there too. There's a positive cross on that. That's awesome. What's that look like on the hour? Fuck yeah. Pardon my language. Obviously that's bullishly engulfing. Obviously it's broke out of this shitty little down thing. Let's see if it can go up and break this result. It may well be that this is very volatile between these levels, right? And this could easily be a bull flag, pardon me. In which case you'd expect to see prices do something like this, right? You'd expect to see them float around here. Whether it makes higher highs, higher lows, lower highs is not really important right now because this is a very strong thrust here. That's all very positive. 1, 2, 3, like that. Whoosh. Above 200 from below the center line. That positive momentum. Look at that on DMI and RSI. Both very positive. Nice. That was a good buy zone there. There's liquidity areas that Rocky was marking out, suggesting that you get buy zones in around here, which you came back to. So if you took that, congratulations. This is Rocky's tail underneath here. That's why it's good. So, what about that too? That's like lower but higher here. That's bullish divergence, guys. That was bullish AF there. And these are all positive across that. So if you're in AMC, things look lovely. In fact, they've been lovely. You might have already had the most of this move, right? That this might be like something like this. I could quite easily imagine it is, but we'll see over the next wee while. If it is some sort of a bull flag, maybe it may well look like something like that. right? So there might be that this moves, especially with the strength of this and how unusual it's been in this move. You might see some pullback to the center line, at least come out of at least come out of this overbought zone. And then, like this, so commonly you would see this is an hourly time frame. If this move's going to confirm, then it'll confirm with like certain indicators flashing, which would be this looking like it's given a bounce between the DI plus and DI negative, with the ADX strengthening at the time. RSI coming out and bouncing off the center zone, going up again, and that whole time price action managed to maintain above this level of resistance, which was previously resistance at around 1280 something. If you can turn that into support, then you're on off again, looking at the 15s, 16s, and I've been saying AMC's $27. Like, that's a stick on for AMC. Fuck knows what Wanda were doing. Like, they were total idiots. I mean, there's some agenda going on with MA, and there always is with venture capital firms from drastically different political spheres, who they are, and so they'll make decisions that don't necessarily make money. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying that it's the wrong way to do business. They've got other objectives and other opportunities, but if I had been in charge, I wouldn't have been taking money out. Fucking. Anyway, I think they made a stupid decision. But don't ask me. I don't know what the rest of the things they do are, so whatever, Wanda. Yeah, I mean, if I was Wanda, I would have been buying. That's the truth of the matter. And I would have been buying. I would have been pushing it here. I would have been taking profits. I would have been buying again and retesting. I would have gone for $27. And I think that's still going to happen on AMC. Where's 27? Oh, right, this is like 25, 8, 26. Well, I've got a line up there for it and shit. Why is that up there? Is it from a fib? It's probably a 1414 or the 1618 on a fib. Why is the fib so massive? It's not, is it? I've done support and resistance. Oh, Jesus, Jamie, go back. Go 12 hour. Oh, right, yeah, it's from this areas. These areas. That cup there. Yeah, you still expect to see $19 on this before this move even tells you what's up. Like, you'd expect to see $19. Yeah, 22 even as well. So like my things that thinking on AMC is you're likely to see it at $17 in the near future. It might have a wee pullback then, but you're going to then see it around 21, and then there's lots of reasons why it might slow down around 27, or even slightly lower. Let's take that to here. So somewhere around 25, 26, 27. There's just a full retrace on that fib from whatever that is. Why is that fib in there as it is? No, it's from here to there. Let's draw it down properly. No, that's that one. Come on, mate, give me your fib.
Wanting to begin learning how to do tar like this.
How to do tar. 1414 on that up there. $36, guys. AMC's a $36 guaranteed stick on if you're a paper-handed bitch. There'd be like, if you're a paper-handed bitch, that's obvious, right? This is an obvious fucking trade, especially having seen that, which is just another version of that, which is just another fucking version of that. And all of this recovery after that, right? And that's a bullishly divergent low with a get the fuck out of my way volume candle. The game changed. At that moment, the game changed. Any Wanda selling out at these sort of levels is just fucking stupid, right? It's in a bull flag at the minute. It's going to kick on again. It's going to do another one of these things it's done. It may do 2 or 3 before it gets to 30, 25, 26. It's going to be at $36. Regardless of any squeeze, any fucking looking at the market mechanics, without looking at the short interest, without looking at the people involved in this, without looking at institutional ownership, without looking at what part of that comprised mutual funds, I already know AMC is going to $36. If you want to know more on it, tune into Rocky and he'll tell you why it's actually going to 70 grand plus. But there's AMC. Now back to GME. Whoa, look at this. What's other people saying about AMC this morning? How does my technical analysis compare against the big boys? The big boys, the big lads. Get out of my way, Fib.
Rocket GME breaks $186.
Rocket, it does break it. Rocket to rocket. Rocket, fucking rocket. Look at that. I'm going to go look at AMC, and when I'm looking at GME and AMC broken, GMC and AMC broken. Look, so we got up here. Oh, look at this. So we thought something like this might happen. Well, I suppose that didn't, but we're up at the top part of this. Let's see. Rocket, rocket, 188. Here we come, rocket. We're going to 188, guys. That's fantastic. What's our daily high for today? And it doesn't want to tell us there. Where does it tell us? Tell me, mate. Average volume 4.718 million. Volume 1.782 million. Has that had 1.782 already today? Has GME had 1.782 volume today, guys? Is that what's happened? Is that what's happened, chat? Just want to check something, chat. That MacD looks great, by the way. Well, get out of my way, though. You can get out of my way to microphone. Okay, so this is still following what we thought it would before explosive. Maybe another. Yeah, this might get knocked down a chunk. So price range may tighten even more up here, chat. Assuming we don't get knocked back down again. 186.65. Down here, this is where we really wanted to look at this at, right? This is fucking amazing. Look at this, chat. This is gonna fucking explode. This is where Bing Bong came from. Fucking look at this, chat. Look at this. Ah! Like, can you squeeze that thing any smaller? You can't. Have you ever done that? No. It's never done that. It's maybe done it here. 1.1, right? 5.59. Anything below 5. And we're only today are we managing to spike to 7. Truth is we're down at 2.81. This thing's fucking about to explode. Just as it happens while I'm here, let me check. AMC's already exploding, guys. What's GME doing here? Like, AMC may is a different trend, right? So it may have reached the top of its one. I haven't compared it to previous things, and I've not looked back like we have looked back at this and seen that when this is down here, it's the best buys in the history of GME ever, in the history of this company. And ever. When this is here, it's the best. It doesn't matter what the price is. It's when this indicator is here, and it fucking explodes. You don't see that price again. You don't ever see it again. You never. It'll not happen. That's what we've seen so far, so I expect it to be the same again here. And then does it come down? I mean, we can come up and meet this EMA. This has got an EMA that goes across the top of it, as you can see. Simple moving average, right? Which is I prefer it for most things. This is like to fucking explode. 186 to expect to see some sort of pullbacks around those levels. Well, I thought we'd go up to 188. Like, why not, right? Check it around 120, 188, and then we'll see. To always draw things and then regret it. Bugger off, right? And then down to the 15 minutes. Oh, that's... Like, I don't bother looking at things below the 15 minutes because it's complete and utter stupidity down there. What did we get to? 187.30. Is that close enough to 188? Close enough is near enough. That's that phrase, actually. It's maybe even higher. We got up to 187 something. Cool. So, like, I still think it's going. It is. It's still going. 186.54. Yeah. This is still a buy, eh? Even when it gets up to here, this is interesting because after that, if it breaks through, you're not going to be able to get it again for cheap. That's positive. 4-hour candle. Still got a while to run on that. Wait a minute. What's clock? Have I been streaming that long? It only feels like I've been on for like 15 minutes. Right. You're not going to get those cheap entries, are you, folks? Like, this is it. I mean, we've broken this line. Where did we draw that from? Probably at some point today. This is holding. In fact, it was the entry. Market participants brought it to a close above it again. This trend continued. That trend strengthened. That bounce there. That was a bounce there. That was so fucking good. That was a brilliant fucking buy there now, looking back. And then what? Yeah. Well, chat, are we going to see the thumbnail and my price targets being hit without even fucking pausing at resistance? Is that possible? Can we be that right? GME. Fuck yeah. What's the MC doing? Is it still doing its shit here? 15 minutes. It is, guys. It's still continuing. It doesn't give a shit about this previous pattern. It's broken support and broken resistance there. It's above it there. What did I say about that? Well, whatever I said about it, looks like it's still coming through. But anyway, GME. Oh my god, we dropped by 187.60. Where has it reached there? It's 188. It reached 188, chat. We were right about this candle. That's positive. This is a channel. It's going to, like, I hate drawing measured moves out of channels. Like, honestly, and people that come to me with them, it's like, piss off, mate. But if you were to do it, it's dead fucking obvious. Like, there's this support and resistance here anyway, so be something like that. So you might see 189, whatever. And then I'd expect to see, like, a tiny bit of consternation, and then boom, right up to 197, 200. Here we go, chat. Things are looking good. On the smaller time frames, this HPV doesn't really mean very much. That's not the way that indicator works. It's not like that. It's just not the way it works, right? The way it works is the way I was using it. That's so fucking positive. ADX crossing above the 39 means that this trend is really, really strong, but also you expect to see it turn around. So I would expect there to see a tiny pause here, chat. I do expect it. We'll either retest the top of this channel, or we'll come back down in around here, retest this level. That's what I'd expect to see. So that's that. What else is everyone saying in chat? Loving the big picture. Somebody draw a big picture. Was it me? Somebody's drawn a big picture. Maybe those low prices of entry are a thing of the past. The low prices definitely are. Jules, the price is $180. Maybe we don't need to worry about $1 trillion insurance policies yet. Are they really just going to let us get our profits directly into our brokerage accounts? Every time I've dealt with insurance claims, it's taken months to get my money. Insurance claims. You see, the insurance, if you're talking about the DTCC 67 insurance policy, that's not your insurance. That's other hedge funds' insurance against each other. And trust me, it doesn't take them long to get their money. Right, penny stock moon soon. Right. Oh, you're talking about a penny stock that'll moon soon. Well, penny stocks, I'll have a look at penny stocks, but not for free. MacDon, GME. Yo, he knows the chat. MacDon, GME, he definitely knows the chat. Ty Kuhn, sup cutie. Maybe Ty's talking to me. Not much, Ty, how you doing? What's up is GME. Everyone say GME is 10 times each. Let's say the chat for 10 seconds. Oh, GME, please. All these people that know the chat. Hiya, Jamie. How reluctant will the DTCC be to pay out millions of dollars per GME share when hedges go bankrupt? Can we hope for a fair shake with the 63 trillion? Is it 63 trillion? I thought it was 67. 63 trillion insurance. But can we hope for a fair shake? Well, this is what I was answering. It's not our insurance policy. It's their insurance policy against the fucker that's just screwed them over by trading irresponsibly. Like they all fucking do. But, you know, one of them's just being caught. And they're not fucking paying for their mistakes. It's their insurance policy, Jules. It's not ours, it's theirs. And these rules aren't put in place for us. They're put in place for the people with money to maintain that position of dominance over people who don't have money. The DTCC rules and insurance policy are not for us. They're not. When you get your money, it'll be the DTC insurance company that's forcing the DT, like is financing the DTCC's liquidation computer, which is force buying shares. Because if they don't, the DTCC is fucked, and every one of their other members is fucked. So it has to do that, right? Unless, you know, you're going to expect some competitor hedge fund to start paying your losses for absolutely no reason, just to protect the financial system. And this isn't 1930, and there isn't an insurance company. There isn't one big guy that's going to do that like there used to be. This is the DTCC insurance policy is for them, protect them, and it goes into action immediately upon liquidations, and it starts force buying GME shares. So can we rely on it? I mean, it's one of the few fucking things in life you can rely on, right? It's the computer to do what it's programmed to do. not humans, right? It's humans you need to worry about. This system's fine, right? And like if it doesn't, banana air flights will be taking people from all over the world to like campaign and get angry about this nonsense. Like the DTC insurance policy. The question more about this DTC insurance policy is how are those assets held, right? They're probably held in other funds. They're probably held in assets because hedge funds don't keep money in their pockets. Insurance policies even less, right? They'll have loads of insurance companies own shares and they own all sorts of dodgy ass shit sometimes actually. And one of the things that I think people might want to look into with GME is equity default swaps, and as opposed to credit default swaps, and how these transferring of liabilities outside certain jurisdictions are possible, like rehypothecation in the UK. You can do it. There is no limit on it. You can do it as much as you like. In Japan, you've got equity default swaps instead of credit default swaps. They were a big product that started after 2008. There's so many pieces of fucking absolute dangerous as fuck instruments that have been used and methods of avoidance that have been taken advantage of that it makes me wonder how do the DTC comprise their assets that will facilitate the insurance payout. That's one interesting question. And it won't be held in liquid capital. It'll be held, in the vast majority of it, in equities. And those equities will be most likely in mutual funds. So, think about the implications of that for everybody and everything else. So, like, this is the story of why GME is about to fucking explode, is because it's already got a negative beta. It's already the thing to take if you're trying to hedge against a crash in the stock market. GME is already doing that, as we see the pullback that I was talking about is likely, and I said that we get to 188 before we got there, and like that's how trading works, right? You'll see other technical analysis, and they call themselves that, but they're not that, right? They aren't, and I'm talking about people I like that have got tens of thousands of viewers who are on live right now talking about GME. They are not technical analysts. They're people who've got a general idea of what it is, but I'm not a professional football player, right? I'm fucking good at football, I think. But I'm not as good as professional football players, right? I am, and I wouldn't claim to be. They'd absolutely pan the shit out of me. They'd beat me billions of goals to nil, and it's the same. It's the same story. Anyway, the point I was making was the DTC insurance funds. How are those funds held? They're held in equities, a lot of them, and a lot of them are in mutual funds. And if you're in those mutual funds, you're going to get fucked when GME explodes. Why would you do that, right? So the answer to people that you care about and love when they ask me, like, oh shit, what am I going to do with these X, Y, and Z things I've got, and this other X, Y, and Z thing I've got? And I'm like, why the fuck do you even have that in the first place? Is ditch that shit, get GME, right? Hedge against a fucking disaster, right? Imagine everything goes to shit and GME doesn't. Let's just imagine, right? Is it worth taking a percentage of what you've got and hedging with it? And is it using an asset which is like no longer reflexive on the SPY and like has been outperforming these things? I mean, how's that? How's it doing today actually as it happens? Positive, right? It's got a positive day today. Not unlike GME, but GME's performed better. Well, SPY just is awesome. But yeah, what about that actually? Dump. I'm not overly enthusiastic about that at the minute in the short-term time frame. You might see a pullback there. GME, GME. Can't remember what I was talking about. Some arrogant shit, probably. Apologies for that. Sorry, everybody. Yep. So everything's still going. I am not a cat. How you doing? Welcome back. I super chatted 99 cents. Great to see you, buddy. That might even be a sticker. Do I get to see stickers? Kind of like the stickers. Is it up there? Why do you not get to see me? 183 is somebody. Are you the Messi or Ronaldo of TA? What about Rocky? Ha. I'm not really that good at football. I did play for is it under 17s? Northern Ireland or something? Can't fucking remember nowadays. But I'm not very good at football. I was alright back then. Which who would I be? I'd be more like, did you ever hear of Paul McStay? People don't want fucking old examples of shit, do they? They want new examples. And more like Callum McGregor, and if you don't know who he is, and more like not one of these superstar fannies, eh? That's just not me. So, who's like good but doesn't act like a prima donna? One of them ones. Stefan S. It's really hard to say. I mean, a lot of Stefan S. is that something. Rule changes, cut down naked Jordan. Yeah, make sure that we cut down on it. Fuck, who can say for sure what position any borrow is made, even if they use them? Yeah. Listen to Rocky, he knows the answers. Is AMC halted or is my feed slow? Halted. Got up to 13.95. Market's open, mate. Down to 1 minute. Markets are open. There's price action this minute. There it is moving in front of our eyes. Yes, so there we're on the 1 minute chart. GME, look at that. That's like playing with the 21. Although it was 20, sorry, all the way up there. That was positive. Look at that. Push, push, push. What's that say in 15 minutes? Why is the answer? Oh, yeah, I was asking a silly question about which footballer was I, and then we moved on to other things in the chat. Peter Crouch, lol. Yeah, pardon me. Message retracted from Christy. You can see it, Christy. It doesn't matter what it was. Andy, hey, how you doing, man? Pretty sad when a Gagillion and company is upset when normal people make actual money. Yeah, it is a little bit a Gagillionaire. He's like really fucking angry. Ali McCoist. His feet work faster than his brain. Still, I like Ali McCoist. Bit of a nice dude, really, to be honest, if you ask me. John Fleck. Zig, you better stop saying these things. I know what you're doing, Zig. I've caught you. Stop that. Haaland, greatest football player in the world at the minute, actually. Is it like him? He's no fucking fancy. He just smashes them in. I like that guy. Hey, Jamie, do you think 136 shares is enough to get me to move out of my parents' house? That guy, yes. 136 shares. Well, I mean, depends what you're going to do with it, eh? I mean, if you're paper-handed BH out at like 220, then no, it isn't. But if you want to hold it until like squeeze time, then yeah, it is. It depends what sort of house do your parents live in, right? If you're looking to upgrade your quality of life as you move out of your parents' house, which is unusual for most people, then maybe you're looking at really high targets, are you? Is it enough to get me to move out of my parents' house? The short answer to that is 136 shares. Let's say that there is no squeeze and it's just a value play and the thing gets to what is quite a reasonable $2,450 a share. And challenging on fulfillment in esports, and it takes, say, when do you want to move out of your parents' house? Let's say it takes 18 months, 24 months. Yeah, you will be able to on 136 shares, even if the squeeze doesn't happen, if you're prepared to wait for a couple of years. 136 shares, how much would that make you over 2 years if we go up that place? Probably about 2 to 3 times what you'd make on an average paying job in America, to be honest. It's like, Game's a fucking obvious buy, eh? And I'm like, anyway, tell everybody that you're not like obligated. Are you? Can you say it in America? Can you tell your mate to just buy GME, or is that like financial advice? And I don't know. Anyway, just a little pause before we go higher. Yeah, buddy, went to 188, and then we said that we're probably going to come in and test the top of this channel that we broke out of. Well, before we got to 188, you said that was likely. So it's still likely. You know, coming in and testing around 184 is totally, like, expected. But we're following the 20 up on the 1 minute chart until that stops happening. It's even stupid even try to pick something down below. But then I was saying if we don't stop there, and you might get an entry at 176, and if you did, that'd be fucking incredible because price action's really, really strong today and everything looks good. Wow, I wish I had a cup of coffee right now. So that's that. What else are we going to look at right now? Is there anything else in particular people would like to look at? This is a fantastic recovery from Ethereum. Congratulations to everybody's in that. There's Bitcoin's doing exactly the same thing. Looks fantastic too. Does we look like we're at resistance though? It does possibly, doesn't it? What does our RSI look like? Not bad, but then it's all about this recovery, isn't it? Above 200's got the flip over there. That's good. This may not though. That's maybe not. Maybe come back down on the old Bitcoins, you know, coming down to the old 30 Bitcoins again, 35,000s. Well, what's the Bitcoin dominance chart like as it happens? Fucking again. Aha. You would think then it's happy days for alts, wouldn't you? So let's look at some. VET 28%, not bad. RSR, not bad. Like it. Matic, a lot of friends in this. I made a lot of Matic over the last Matic over the last couple of months, an awful lot, and thanks very much, Matic, for that, and everybody who traded it with me. Well done. And Link, how's it doing? It's Bitcoin, not so bad. Anyway, so there's some of the things that I'm in, and they're doing very well since I got into them. So if you'd like to know more about that, follow Rocky. Fucking gave all these signals. Dixie, screwed as it is, as we know. The biggest shitcoin of the lot of them. AMC 1368. That's your pullback happening there. You might not get much more than that. That looks like a buy for people who are like really riding the wave. GME, here we are, and at the 184 levels, we said that it would be good to get a buy if we bounce off the top of this channel. And then if we did, we'd be hitting 200. No bother, guys. That's how price action works. That's how it works, guys. That's what's happening. There's the future. Luke Spears, ride. You want me to look at ride as well? Because you asked, Luke. I might fucking have to do it now. Do you like coffee? Yeah, I do. I wish I had some coffee. Coffee, this is time for cocaine. Yeah. Maybe, no. No, Frank. Frank, it's far too early for that here. No, it's 4:30. Maybe it's not, actually. That sounded bad. Apple Blossom, so wholesome, she isn't she? She's brilliant. No, Bitcoin bashes head off 38k. Yeah, it does look like it just did that. I shorted. Good move. Possibly to 35. Good move. Possibly. What do I fucking know? Waiting on that dip to press that buy. Is this the dip you're waiting on? We're here now for some people. Some people are buying this. It's not even what you call a dip. It's not even... You might want to look and see if that turns into a bearish engulfing candle, but I wouldn't predict that as very likely. Tradespotting Rocket Crop. AB Lopez, really nice guy. From a really nice part of the world. Space Captain, I'm on to you. Your comments are so telling. I'm on to you, Space Captain. These are both very bullish, so I don't know what yous are on to. Rocky, get that man a coffee. He's in a different apartment, as it happens. Rocky is in his apartment just now, has been doing some work on our actual business that pays for our lives, or will do the minute it's trading. And then we're moving on to these sort of things as well. Bing bong, ding dong, King Kong, been wrong. Dobermamba, you're never wrong. Who are you kidding, Dobermamba? Bing bong, ding dong, King Kong. Gamestop, can't stop, won't stop. Bing bong, ding dong, King Kong. Donkey Kong. Jamie, market structure. When Lambo? Where Lambo? Where Lambo? That is a new one. That's a new one. X-Link. XL Link. You might be happy with how Link's doing. I don't know. Bit of a fucking nightmare over there over the last couple of weeks for your Link Marines, innit? Hope you're watching Rocky. Where Lambo? Where? Well, a dealership. Probably online. Or where Lambo, as in where do we get to when price starts to go crazy? Lambo. Well, I think 2,450 is like the charts are screaming it at me. So after that point, at some point, then I expect then it's like proper shit. The shit is fucking on. But a lot of people will be like, Jamie, you're fucking crazy thinking the price is getting to 2,450. And I'd be like, thanks, mate. That's nice. And then they'd say, no, seriously, look, blah, 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 blah. And I'd show them what I've showed you guys. 2,450 looks like a fucking stick-on. And it's like after then, shit becomes crazy. That's not crazy. And people say, it's going down. Like, there's so many, anyway, I'm not talking about them. Have a feeling I won't get much work done today now. Well, if you're looking at price action, it looks exciting. Maybe you won't, Andy. It's true. Rocket Crop. Answering that guy's name. 12 that's hard. Discord name. X-Space Catman. Yo. So the chat's going on there. 832 concurrent viewers. Holy shit, you guys tuned in because BGME's kicking the shit out of everything else at the minute. Probably, well, AMC is also doing fucking awesome. Let's check that out. 1369. There's your pullback finish. Told you guys. What happens here? Does this continue on? This is normal, right? You'd normally see selling here. Back out of that. Turn over there. You make that.
I read that the Scottish and Irish use more coke than every other European countries.
But there's one thing I inherited from my Irish gran. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to reduce my advertising revenue any more than it already has been done, but Aberdeen is the largest port for hard drugs being imported in Europe. Out of any port in the world, it's in Aberdeen, in the north of Scotland. So I mean, it's definitely not... yeah... Fuck knows, mate. Don't know why that is. It's not like we're huge consumers of it generally, but it's not great. Man, you're a genius. Big frickin' bong. Thanks very much, Paul. That's very
Man, you
much
are a
appreciated.
genius. Bing frickin' bong.
Haha, yeah, read that out. Yes, read that out again. Bing frickin' bong. She sounds good when she says that. Look, it's bouncing off there as well. If I called every fucking move today, it's not like it knows I've drawn these lines on here, eh? Or does it? What's going on? Simulation's fucked. Look at that RYCAY. And that, look at Rolls Royce. What is that? No, it's not even loading this anyway. Fuck you. What else can we look at on here? I was going to look at that. None of these want to load. Tell me the internet hasn't broken. That'll be a total disaster. Come on, internet, come back. What's everyone saying in chat? And I'll catch up with these people. Wow, that was a $25 donation. Jeepers creepers, Andy.
Bing fing bong. I don't know about y'all, but my banana is AMC.
Oh, you're Andy, you're gone AMC. GME strong. Happy Monday, Apes, Diamond Hands, Boobies. That's so good of you to support the channel like that, and you're in AMC, and you know that I'm more into GME, but fucking AMC's going to, what did we say? My charts aren't loading behind here. I don't know why that is. Do you want to stop being crap? Changes will not be saved. Yeah, well, what changes are there? I don't care. I can do it again. Reload. My changes are saved. Screw you, TradingView, you liar. That's continuing on. We're back at 186. Guys, if this continues up and we break past this high, like in the next 45 minutes.
What are the rents like in Aberdeen? Bing freaking bong.
Another big bong. Offer pipe, great to see. Big freaking bong. Awesome. Who said what the rent's like in Aberdeen? Not so bad actually, mate. They were a bit high because it's a really big oil extraction processing area. It's biggest in Europe, so it's quite busy. That's why the ports are so busy, and that's why there's so many ships, and that's why there's so many drugs, and the people get paid quite well, so the rents are quite high. Like outside Edinburgh, I think they're the second highest, maybe certain parts of Aberdeen. So, but Daniel, you could well afford it, you cheeky git. You know you could. So it's funny that Daniel's got big bags. There's also a couple of other names I've seen in here. I'm not going to draw attention to them, but I can tell you that the people in chat at the minute, I know, hold at least 170,000 shares. Just people in this chat room at the minute. Looking forward to move to Aberdeen, says everybody. You don't need to go to Aberdeen to get it. That's where it comes in. Also, shitloads of it comes in at Glasgow as it happens. Like the stuff, I'm not going to go on here and incriminate myself. Not that there's much to say, other than you don't need to go to Aberdeen, right? It's like loads and loads and loads and loads of it is just like round the corner. But like a lot of it comes in from Glasgow. Only place in Scotland I've been to are Edinburgh and Pennycook. Pennycook. Got drunk with Pennycook locals in an Edinburgh pub and they took me home with them. The feckers, they kidnapped you.
Is it a no-brainer?
Right, I have to go back because you're not reading these messages out. Right, are you at all? Protects the speech. Right, go back. We got another one. Oliver Gwynn. Bing bing bungity bing 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 bungity bing 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 bungity bong bing 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 bingity bong. I have 3 XX shares. All right, Ari, how's it going, Ari? Good to speak to you, buddy. How you doing? And a third Bitcoin, 34k crossed. Is it a no-brainer to liquidate my Bitcoin and go full GME? Right, well, I can answer that question. Liquidate your Bitcoin. Now is a good time to sell it. Is now a good time to buy GME? Well, they're both pumping, right? Depends what you want to be in. If I was to say to you, Ari, I'd say sell your Bitcoin, buy it again at 35, 36 if you want Bitcoin and you want to hold it. You might even get a test lower than that, and you're at resistance up and around here. This will probably come back and it'll be bearishly divergent. You might get like a higher price. You might get like 38, 39. It is 38 already. You might get 39 or 38.8 or 38.5 or something. In and around there, you could easily get better than it. Or you might not, you might be still here. And I can't give you financial advice, so like the way you framed the question, I can't actually answer it ethically, directly. I can say that I had limit orders on my Bitcoin, which will have sold in and around here. Perhaps like where we are at the minute. And I may, if the price gets down...
B-I-N-G-E-R dang B-O-N-G-E-R dad gum gum drops get M.
Ari, I might be buying it back there if I was doing that. I've got a huge, my position is heavily in the GME already, so it's difficult for me to answer that on your, depending on what your thinking or what you've already got. Like, I mean, you answered me that, didn't you? You already told me you had 300 shares in GME and a third in Bitcoin, right? Well, I mean, you're doing all right, right? I wouldn't, if you've got 300 plus shares, a third in Bitcoin, 34k cost. If you sold that, you'd get another 10. And a third in Bitcoin, or a third of Bitcoin. If you mean you got a third of Bitcoin at
Bing.
34k cost, as in you bought a third of Bitcoin, you couldn't have got a third of it for 34k. That's not possible. I'm assuming you bought a third of it when the total price was 34. In which case you're up to what, 12, 15%? Well, you're up. Yeah. Difficult question, Harry. I would be selling some Bitcoin here. I literally just did. I've told you that it'll have hit my limit orders, and I haven't got any in to buy it again yet because I would want to see what happens. But I'll be watching Rocky's show tonight to see. But like, this is money I use to live off. It's like that's a trading account that I take profit on multiple times every day. So, so my answer is, you've got lots of GME already. I've got no idea what your overall situation is in life or what your risk tolerance levels are. I've no idea what your trading style is, and obviously, like you're asking reasonably open question, like without specific price targets and whatnot. But my general advice is, Bitcoin's had a nice bit of a move already. Like, that's very positive what we've seen in Bitcoin there. But is it worth shatteringly good? No, it isn't. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. But I could easily see coming in from a lower test there. And then what when it comes to GME? Well, like, I could give you the targets to get in on GME, and then you make your own mind up about what you'd prefer to be in. I think they're both good, like, long term, and like. But here I'm, and I don't push my book on GME. I think the charts speak for themselves, and it's going to happen anyway, no matter what I say. But I do know that I help people get better targets. And perhaps if enough people started fucking watching this show, of which it's picking up all the time, it's great, and like we're able to see that I was calling price action like a fucking oracle, then they'd say, then I could be helping influence the price, and I don't mean in a bad way. Like, I could be telling everybody, look and buy, and they would do it, and we'd all make money because it's the right decision. So like, share this video with your friends, and let them judge how good I am at guessing the price action or not, and if they'd like a resource like this to help them. What was the question? I was answering Ari's question. So that's the best I can do for you, Ari. I mean, if you were my dad and you were asking me what to do, and you were saying, hi, I would say, hi, Dad, have you sold that Bitcoin yet? And he'd say, yes, Jimmy, sold it. And I'd say, good one. Or I'd say, or he'd say, oh no, I bought it like up above, or I'd bought it down below, I'm holding on it. Whatever he would say, I'd then say, well, have you got any GME? And he'd say, yeah, I have GME. I got it earlier. The prices you recommend. And I'd say, great. And you're the same. You've got everything there. You've got all the things you want. So do you have to move it around? I suppose. Like, the question is, what do you make more money on? You don't even necessarily going to do it. You just want to know my opinion. And my opinion is that you might expect to see, like, Bitcoin topped out, took 3 months. If you want to see it recover, it might take a number of months, right? You might do. In that period, you could expect to see it perhaps go lower than where it's already been. Maybe, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I suspect that it might take a while down here, longer than people would like. That's what I think. Do I think GME is going to take months and months around where it is at the minute? Nah, I don't. So that's my answer to you, Ari. Bing, bingity bong. And what else did I miss? I missed other things, and I have to go back because I want to regret it after not having seen it. There's investors around Daniel. What you saying, Daniel? I read Scottish and Irish use more. Yeah, we got this one, and you did inherit it from your gran. She sounds like a bit of a mad lad. Daniel, Paul B, man, you're a genius. Frank, we've got that. I'm reading that one out again on purpose. Andy A, we got that. Freaking bing bong. Don't know about y'all, but my bananas AMC, JME strong. Happy birthday, you'll be happy, Andy. What are the rents like in Aberdeen? We covered that. Native flights, lol. PH3 drugs equals prof. PH3D is very straight-laced chap. Hi Jones. No, H Jones. Draw the line going to 100. What number is that? 100 million. That does that number. I can't read that number. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 zeros. That's 100 million. Bing bang bang bong. Draw the line. Go into the line. See, I did this already. The problem with drawing this line is it takes frickin' ages to scroll up the charts to $10 million. I'd already did it all the way up to 69,420, stuck an alert on there to have like a celebratory dance when that happens. And I did it up to 1 million, and then I did it up to 2 million. And then it takes ages to get to 10 million. But if it's going to make the world happy, if it's going to make it happen, because like stuff's going so well and whatnot, and all my frickin' predictions are coming true and whatnot. I mean, it doesn't have to look good, right? We can just draw it. Because it's fucking happening. Stuff's happening at the minute. There you go, guys. I've just drawn a line up to, what's that, 121 million. If that happens, that's it. I'm dead. If something like that happens, I'm just fucking giving up. It's absurd already as it is. 185, getting some good entries on your GME if it is about to break out. So this is a sort of place where you would see some consternation. I'm going to go back now to the normal chat now that we've put in that. We've tested fate that way, you know. If it wants to play that game, we can play that game. Fate, touch Harry Wood. Right. What else are we talking about here? Chat. How long have I been on this stream? Does it tell me? It doesn't. Really want a freaking cup of coffee. Where's Rocky at? Is he coming down? Is he in chat? Do we see Rocky here? I don't see him, so maybe... No, wait, Dizzy, he's here. Damn it. Great. That's great, he's here. Christopher Shawchuck. What a disappointment. The bastards. Ari. Oh, Ari said, thanks for taking time and your feedback. Really even new to your channel and will recommend. That's really good. Thanks very much, Ari. You seem like a very nice chap. That was very generous of you to donate twice there. There was no need for that. It is all very, very grateful, very, very grateful for it, though. That's great. Thanks for recommending me. That makes all the difference. That's how the channel grows. It's exclusively that way. Thanks very much, Ari. Appreciate, and you're welcome, mate. Very welcome. So Aaron, I think it's Aaron. Stop donating so much. I think it's going to be a long, long time to touchdown. Brings me round again. Oh no, I'm not. I'm a rocket man. Paraphrased. I'm sorry, I sang it badly. You paraphrased it, then I sang it even worse. So if anyone recognises that, you win. You win the prize. Cause I did no justice. Who's ready to see GME hit 1 million? Fucking very few people, as it happens, are ready for that crantic. Shinkum, how you doing? GMD pushing again. Is it? Are we not getting our slightly another? I think it's like consternation here. Like it's 50-50 what's going to happen. We get another slightly test lower and then some bullishness off that, then it's game over for the downside today. Or if we just break through, it is. But I think it's either way, it's positive. GME is a safe play at the minute. It is. It's safer than most things. Let's get engulfy. Let's get engulfy. Ooh, time to get engulfy. Reminds me of the old Rick and Morty's. Remember when they used to make that show? Diamond Hands, welcome to Spider Monkey. Fuck yeah, welcome, especially with a name like that. You're part of the family. Am I missing things? Bing, says Shro. I think he was going to leave him hanging there. Nobody's going to give him a bong. That's a bit unfair. Bong. Binger dang bonger. Dangum gun drops, get him. Binger dang bonger bong dang bonger bang bad dad gun bombs. Thanks very much. This is brilliant. Brah, I'm XX. Good on you, mate. Jamie, does the MACD say brrrr? What does the MACD say right now? I turned it off, didn't I? Somebody looking at the MACD and got some questions. Well, we don't need these on, because especially on the short-term time frames, which we're probably going to be on for this. So bye, and then, yo, where's your MACD? Yo, there it is there. Like this said, bing here. Were we online at the time? Probably. And did we say it was a huge buy? Probably. And this was divergent. Ding da ding. Is it there? Is it there? Yes, massively divergent converted down here, and then yeah, that was really obvious buy. And then we talked about that. What did somebody just ask me? MACD, yes. Well, this was when it went, and since then it's been going, and that's your TA on the MACD. Correct, that's what it's been doing. Yeah, so this is positive. You know, it's putting in this, and at the same time, it's fighting this here at this. Maybe it turned out that though. So, guys, like, if you see anything coming around here after this has happened, you know, and if you see any momentum being put up here, like, that's really, really bullish. So, like, don't worry about what direction prices are going. I know it's easy for a YouTuber, especially. I could be, like, going really excited every time it goes up 1 minute and be like, come on, guys, come on, and cheering it and pushing it, screaming. And I am feeling a little bit like that. But you shouldn't worry if you see the price going, like, down, because it's like it goes up, it goes down all the time. I'm sure you're used to that now. Preaching to the choir, what? So is it giving that signal right? Anyway, it's the 15 minutes. Let's look at the 30 minutes where you can look at it and it's quite efficacious. Well, bang, that's good. Look, it's down similar to what it did there. Here. You know when you think you've got something stuck on your nose because you can see it? Right. I've got that feeling. So what do we see here? We also see this here. Correct. Yeah, that might turn around there. Yeah, I expect prices to be trying here, but not necessarily. But I don't think they're going to break through right here. I think that there'll be like a pullback and then off again, and that's why I think we'll get to 197. And I reckon it'll happen today, but it might take tomorrow. Jamie does Zexy Burr, and then Active Curiosity. Binger, dang, banger, down, banger, grow drops. Oh, I've not gone all the way up. Bingity, bingity, bong, bong. Oh, I've got Ari there, and he's asking about that. Right, great. Yeah, I've got everybody's super chats there. That's okay, thank goodness. Thanks for taking tea back. No problem. You're welcome, buddy. Aaron said that. That's great. Just check through these ones. Active Curiosity. Gotcha, mate. Thanks. Shrew, $2. That was good of you. No one gave you a bing. No one gave you a bong back, though. Ari, that was them. Okay, so I got everything there. That's awesome. It doesn't tell me on this stupid thing where when people have joined memberships, but thanks very much for joining, because over the weekend we lost a couple of apes and we lost a Patreon member. So it means a lot when people support the channel. Thanks very much for coming in and filling the gap, blocked, charging into the gap there, everybody. Another member, welcome Chimp, Batman's Alfreda. Batman's Alfreda. Maybe you are Alfreda and you belong to Batman. Pass on along our regards. Either way, welcome to the family. Very much. What do I call you then? Batman's or Alfreda? Or just Buddy? Internet Buddy. Another one. Thanks, friends. Thanks, Rocky, says Paul. Thanks for taking care of Jamie and Rocky Outcrop. Good, bro. Cheers. Thanks for taking care of Jamie, Rocky Outcrop. Yeah, you're taking care of me. How you doing that? He says, okay, people, I'm going to go buy some sausages and baps because the bap chat made me want one earlier, and then they make a cup of coffee for Jimmy. So I'll see you back here at 15:20. 15:20. Surely it says more than 15:20. Oh, in 15 or 20 minutes. Yes. Excellent. Thanks for that, Rocky. I hope you got good work done. Thanks for tuning in and keeping everybody happy in chat. Rocky, you will need to buy BAPs because the ones you got from the shop the day before yesterday, which aren't supposed to go off for another 4 days, are blue moldy to fuck. These blue molded. The shop's a sneaky. See you soon, Rocky. Thanks very much. Take your time down the street there, Rocky. It's nice enough weather outside. Thanks very much. JD, finally back in the green after a long time of red. You are back in the green. Yes, I fucking love to hear that for the fucking guys in this audience. I fucking love to hear that. You know, you all fucking deserve it. Fuck this shit that people have put us through with their stupid short and bollocks. Shorting our fucking stock. Fuck off, guys. Get fucked. Back in the green. Fucking let's hear it for you, mate. Congratulations. And you're holding, I expect. Fucking well done. That'd be a lesson to all the paper-handed bitches out there. He's back in the green. What's he doing? Is he fucking trying to sell his position to punish the market? Because the market doesn't fucking care. And if you do that sort of thing, sell on positive trends when prices are going up, you'll never make money. And you've had the bravery and the strength of will to hold on to a position when it went against you because you believed the truth. You knew what was going on. You didn't listen to the shit. And here you are, fucking back in the green. The sun has broken through the clouds. You fixed the fucking roof when it was... Everything's fucking perfect. Now you can sit back, put your fucking hands behind your head and watch where the price goes, mate. And enjoy it, because you deserve it. Awesome. That's the best message today. Great to hear that shit. What is everybody else saying? Stupid short and bollocks. Yeah, go fuck them. Green. Yeah, you deserve it. Fuck yeah, good one. Did you average down at all? Pff, who cares now? You're back in it. It's awesome, and you can look for other re-entry points. And you've done well, mate. Fantastic. Well played. And who knows where your entry point started off, so I'm super happy. Most hype trading channel, hands down, you gonna blow up, homie. Fuck yeah, thanks very much, Captain Sicko. That's a familiar name. Have I seen you before, or have I just thought of that name? Somehow I have. Maybe there's a name from something. Anyway, thanks very much. We've got a guy here in the chat, Grilled Cheese Scotch. Also, I'm not going to give his real name or say who's who at what stage, because I'm not sure what he's comfortable with. But he put together some of the stuff that I'd been saying and the background video. And you've seen that video I put up over the weekend. That was his. He put that together for all of us, really, I think. MACD is frozen. Oh my god, the MACD's been frozen? Shit, I'm on the MACD. Who the fuck cares about that? I was talking about how great price action was. I was actually saying that it's likely to hit this, so it might hit that anyway. But and so, you know, maybe, you know, you'll have a brief breather above the water in the sunshine, mate, back in a profit, and then you go along and you float along now, roughly in and around your entry price, like a lilo, close to shore, with the sun shining on you and a glass of sangria in your hand. And you know that you can go, like, float back to the shore anytime you want and get some more beers. Wow, that'd be a nice holiday. What everybody... So the MACD is now off the screen. Is it frozen? Well, we were on a 30-minute time frame, so it only updates every so often, and we're not actually close to a 30-minute... We are 5 minutes away from a 30-minute close. What's that going to do on a 30-minute candle? That's positive. What's that? 5 minutes to close that. It's also the early close. 16:55. Also the early close, and well, I mean, I don't really go for like the 2 hour, the 3 hour. Nobody really does. That does my trading style anyway. I'm sure lots of people do, but not my type of thing. 184.98 back at 180. We're going to be back at 185 in a second again. So this is positive price action. It depends what happens with the hourly candle. Like, we're closing it maybe perhaps like if you were to draw these things on and take less than like whatever I took, which was not very long time at all. What's AMC doing at the minute then? That would be interesting to see with this doing as it is. You would expect this candle to close within this line on the hourly. If it doesn't, then things are looking fantastic. And you would expect that there, and let's just draw this accurately. So this is like too steep to continue without either correcting or going parabolic as AF. Like this is not normal price action for a long period of time, right? For example, here, right after it starts, it corrects. It corrects like a significant enough degree because it's so steep. It has like a larger correction. That corrected to the 0.5, which we've already seen, but like. For anybody just tuning in, like this came down and corrected to the 0.5, right? That's what happens when it's like, boom, parabolic moves tend to correct between 60 and 90%. This isn't a parabolic move, it's just a recovery, right? If anything, it was a tweezer bottom from this thing here, and it wasn't even, it was actually even fucking better than that. This was the anyway, right, long story short, if you get a little bit of a retrace, when moves are very, very, very steep, and 50% is nothing. That's like Dow theory, everybody in the grands, nobody knows about that actually, unless you watch Rocky Output's channel. And so, yes, so this is what we're expecting. Still expecting something up to 190 if we break out the top of this channel. But we're closing the hourly candle within it, so that's normal, right? And then you can either see then, after the hourly closes in 2.5 minutes, if it closes anywhere like on resistance, it could be quite positive. But I would expect to see something in it around 179.79 again before that happens. And it's not when I say expect, it's like if I'm looking at this and talking about it as if I don't have a position and I'm desperate to get in on what I think is a positive move that's taking us up to 200, then that's where I'm putting my entry at. Doesn't mean I'm going to get the trade. And as I say, I'm affected by the fact that I've already got a lot of it, my position of it. AMC in the meantime, it's also done the same thing, come back into its thing. We think this is, like I was saying earlier, I think this is perhaps a bull flag, and like we drew this on when price was up here, we drew that there, and we're back under it, right? This is pretty good stuff going on this channel. And then here's your bull flag, and is it a bull flag? Yeah, it is. And like just this move, like just this move, and that's not even all of it. What might you see off the back of that? Right, yeah, like up to 18, 19 bucks. But that's nothing anyway. I mean, you're talking 27.36. So that's that. And tune in for more of it with Rocky later on when he gets back. So that's that. And it is strange at this time of the day. Where we are underneath that thing again. It is strange at this time of the day focusing just on one or two things. Normally when I'm running, you can see on the left here, there's like traditional markets and stocks, and some things are like really reflexive, like QQQ, and that's like sort of thing I'd spend a lot of time looking at on very short time frames, really excited about. And then obviously you've got things that you'd run through just to check the overall health of the market. Here, what's that? Dixie's still shit, even on that. Sorry. Well, yeah, look at that move. What was it I called there? Yeah, we were chatting on Rocky Xcorp's Discord. Psh, pretty good that. If you've got that, guys, well done. If you trade Forex, which I know some people do, and then you catch me on Rocky Outcrops Discord, there's a link in the description. And people have said, Jamie, set up your own Discord. And it's like, nah, mate, the Rocky Outcrops Discord is incredible. Like, it's incredible, the information on there. And the feeling between people and the atmosphere and that. It's like, it's fucking awesome. And like, if I did, I'd have to spend less time there. And I'm not doing that. I like spending time there and adding value to what he's doing, because it's like really good. He's going to have 1,000 really good traders around him, and then he's going to do some serious fucking damage. All of them are. Get yourself over there, and I'm contributing as much as possible because he's on a fucking mission. And then, and if you want to catch up with me there, I'll happily chat to you. It's all there, very informal. You can also catch me on Twitter. It's _Jamie_CURRAN, and you can also see me on Instagram, which is King Jamie the First, FIRST, King Jamie the First, and where I share funny memes, much more so than I do on Twitter, because Twitter's like good for like having arguments with people, I find, and telling them to shut up, and like then and that they're idiots, and like being really acerbic, because then they'll say something back, and then they'll be wrong, and it's funny. So I do that, and if you want to see that, or like me just express my positive feelings about GME, you can see me on Twitter. And if you want to see funny memes that I'll add to my story and whatnot, and you follow me on Instagram. One the other day for the 2 kinds of people was dead funny about apes. So anyway, whatever. If you don't want to follow me on any of them, please at least click like on this video. Thanks very much. What else has been happening in the chat? Why do I keep looking through stupid assets that I'm not interested in at the minute? What else? How is everybody? Are we all enjoying it? Haha, Twitter, ha. Yes. Yes, Queen Bee, Twitter. Right, call people out all the frickin' time. Everybody, the like button. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Oh, jeez, you got the Bing and now you've got another one. Only 17% down after holding for the last 3 months. Kept buying the dip down, and I won't sell until I can prove all my doubting family and friends that I was right and can shit $100 bills in their face. Yes!
Only 17 after holding for the last 3 months. Kept buying the dip down, and I won't sell.
Why did she not read all of it out? She's so stingy with her words. Until I can prove all my doubting family and shit $100 bills in their faces. Here's Rocky. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hello. Rocky's just arrived. Rockets for Rocky. Thanks very much. Yeah, well done. Great. Congratulations. Holding for 3 months. So you got in there. You weren't watching my videos again 3 months then, sure. Because people who watch this channel and take my targets, I've tried to work out last night. I've only been underwater for something in the region of 36 minutes. 36 minutes. 36 minutes. But that's fantastic. Buying all the dips and getting out, that's well managed. See, A lot of people don't understand the first thing about position management, and it sounds to me as though you've done a really good job of it. Shibbity, Mary Poppins, but I guess that's not your nickname. That's not where it comes from, Shiro. Where are you from? That's an interesting picture there you got too. Well done. And managing the second part of that sentence, the message is different from the first part, which is about how well you've done to hold when everybody in the world and their fucking mum were telling you, it's over, it's over, we know it's over. Like, how do you know it's over? You know, you're just a pessimistic loser, mate, who thinks everything's shit in the world and nothing can ever work out right for people. But that is not what we're like. Not like that. We're in charge of our own destiny. Thanks very much. And we're in charge of GMEs as it happens too. Only 17% down. Well done. 17%. 17% from here. 184. So you'll be up at around 220 in that. Well, you're not going to be out underwater for long if I'm right, buddy. You're going to be really chuffed in a couple of weeks' time, and then add on another 3 to 4 weeks after that, and you might be shitting $100 bills in their faces, which isn't very kind. What's a better way to do things is to say to yourself, like how the personal validation that you'll get from that whole experience, and don't rely on other people to tell you you're right or you're wrong, because nobody else knows the answer. Only you do. About anything that you choose to do, you'll know if it's right or wrong, and you won't listen to other people. And then afterwards, when you are proved right, you can just be nice to them, because it'll be easier to do. And trust me, when you've proved yourself right and you feel good about yourself, then you don't really particularly care about how it affects other people. You know, the truth is, you'll probably be really nice to them. How are we supposed to see anything with all that shit on the chart, Jamie? I completely understand what you're saying. Yes. So, like, this is what I want to say. You know, I feel hesitant to say it because we all love it so much, but, like, this is your entry now, like, high 179s or 180 on this, or maybe just a little bit lower, like I was saying, 174, 176. That's what you're looking at now. If I was to draw a liquidity box, it wouldn't be real. But horizontal lines in and around there would be. I'd expect to see it's unlikely to go back below that, actually, especially if what we can see is that measured move. Like, let's just take the same one, that, isn't it? And I say we drop out of this, that's where you would expect it to take you, and then you might float up again. Price action could do a number of things, that, or and then obviously you've got inflection points here and here, in which way you'd look again, right? This might cross up a bit slightly higher, might break through the top line, go up round here. Why am I talking about this? Somebody asked me about this. Anyway, that's what you're looking at. Shiroo. So thanks very much. That was very generous of you. And you donated earlier. Thank you. And what did everyone else say before that? Dream Wishes 3. I love watching your videos and wanted to ask, if we had a stock split before the MOAS, would it affect the price targets for us? Well, like it might do one way or the other. It would have a short term and a long term implications, and it would depend. Like, the trigger for the MOAS, like a stock split doesn't like, it's a split of everybody who owns the shares, so it's like debatable as to what effect exactly it would have. It would definitely mean that there was then more shares on the market. People might, but it depends on what price level they do it at too. It's just like, why would they do that? Why would they do a share split then, rather than like during the MOAS? Like, if you're going to do it one or the other, and also they'd have to notify us about that months in advance, so that's not happening. No worries. Would it affect a price target for it? Well, not months, but a month. They'd have to let us know about it long before they did it. So, or if they, and you can look at the filings to see if they've got anything like that coming up, which I don't think they do. I love watching your videos. Thanks so much, Dream Wishes. Really appreciate it. I love when people tune in. It's great. Thank you. And I don't think there will be a stock split before the MOAS. And do I think it'll affect the price? Well, it depends where and when it comes. And like, it could delay it temporarily. Would it necessarily? Like, it depends what the market dynamics are and what causes it to flip. It's not going to get people out of their short positions just because we split the shares. Like, that's not. It doesn't It doesn't do anything. If anything, it makes them worse. Tradespotting, can you walk us through all the indicators you have on screen? Sure thing, no problem, buddy. I'll do that now. Who's asking that? Alexander Lem. Just 2 seconds, I'll get round to reading these other messages, Lem, and I'll do that. Alexander, Alex, whatever you're called. Thanks to you, I can no longer worry about daily price action. Instead, I think about who I want to help and how after the most. Cheers, friend. Oh, it's you, dude. CD Burn Guy. Thanks so much. You're donating again. You're very generous too. Thanks to everyone who's here and has been here a while and donated a few times. You're all really generous. Thank you. Instead, just punch the guy next to you and tell him to freaking donate. That's very good of you, CD. And yeah, you don't have to worry about price action at all, mate. Like, great because of the videos, or like if you are worried about things and you've got like a specific question that you're really worried about and you think I can give you the answer, it doesn't have to wait till we're on stream. Like, you can get those other places, all those other social medias, and like be like, Jamie, what the fuck? And like, if it looks like you're absolutely panicking, I will try and help. But like CD says, you really don't need to worry. Like, I've got you covered for price action. Doesn't matter, Ian, said somebody. What was it, Ian? But it doesn't matter, that's good. Vic Vince, you're here. How's it going? Didn't say hello yet. David P, I think I got you, mate. How you doing? Good to see you. Stut Split, also a split. The Naked Shorts, exactly right. And if anything, it makes it worse. Apple Blossom. Vic Vince, the $40 dip was beautiful. I got average down so much. Yo. These are the legends of the channel here. Queen Bee, whoa, we're at 185.74. 186.54 now, Queen Bee. Pretty freaking awesome. Just dropping by. Ayo, just dropping by. Where are you? Once a glance at your chart says more about your skill set than most of the TA train tutorials I can find anywhere else. Thanks very much. Just dropping by. I'm trying to keep it like kind of so that you can all see it. I've been deleting shit as I've been going through, and if at one point I deleted everything and drew it again. But there's a number of fibs there that aren't on it and things, just so it's clear. I mean, if you've got any questions about it, fire away. Tradespotting, how do you know it's going to go down to 180-ish? How did I know, or how do I know? How did I do know? Well, I'll just show these indicators and answer that question at the same time, actually, Stefan. And then, what else has I missed in the meantime? TFH, we're definitely going to go to over or under $190. That's true. We're definitely going to do one of those two. 190 close, quite possibly. I mean, if we get there, I might shoot to 197. Let's see. Rocky will be taking us to close. Their losses, our gains. Exactly. There's someone on the other side of all of our trades, and I don't know if you've seen the people that have been trying to short this recently, but oh, that lovely cup of tea. Thanks, Rocky. Don't know if you even got it. Did you get to see Rocky there when he came by? I think if it had been me, I'd have been slipping my tongue on the camera, but oh, a cup of tea. That's amazing. Yeah, their losses are gain. There's always somebody on the other side of the trade, and this is another way to think about things, and it's gratuitous and no, it's wise to think of that person on the other side of the trade. Not for the very least because you can maybe perhaps understand why someone would be in that trade, and it might inform your own decisions. But when you close a position and you've made money, then you've taken money from someone else, and that is the nature of this game. There's no getting away from it. It's everybody against everybody. It's a very pure form of competition, and it's why it attracts certain people to it. And it's a lot of those people really don't care about what happens to someone on the other side of the trade. And generally speaking, I kind of feel a little bit bad when I make, like, especially if it's like consistent and over years, you do think like all the other people, like, you do feel bad for them. But then I'm out here trying to help you guys, and if you're going on the other side of a GME trade, then you're a fucking fanny. And I've looked at these people, right? I've been sent videos from these people, like, I'm sure of you guys in chat are people who've sent me the videos of these people doing TA on Gamestop saying to go short. And, like, I'm going to take all that person's money. I'm going to take all of it. And he'll be screaming and crying like a bitch afterwards. So then we go up to the 250. Like, yeah, so then after we do that, when are we going to... So what I was going to do, I was going to say, why did I know I was going back to 180? How did I know? I didn't know, Stefan. It's not that I knew. And what did we do as it happens? Look into this price action here. Bum, 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 that's so good. Come on, fuck it, mate. Go for it. It won't, but go fuck it. Why did I think that? Right, well, what I did, Stefan, was I took... nope, wrong one. Fib from here to here, and I said, well, if this is the top and we come back to the 236, that's around 182. 32, that would be inside this channel. The 382 is down at 180. It's also the bottom of this channel, and the 382, once we've hit like what was previous resistance, a retrace has been expected, tiny one. Just even if it's a period of accumulation. If you hit the 236 and go on, we're inside this channel. Drop back in again. Might not even drop back in again. I don't even know if I said it's definitely going to 180, but if it drops inside this channel properly, then yeah, it'll go down to 180, because at that stage, you've broken inside this channel again, you've tried to get outside of it and failed, we've hit previous resistance, and the 236 might not be enough to hold us. People will also be opening shorts at this position. It's not just people taking profit on their longs. And that momentum can then come through, which we'll go down and look at the oscillators in a minute. This MACD being so up here, that's quite likely. In which case you might see a test of the 382, which should also be the bottom of the channel, which should also be like continuing this upward demand line, where shorts would then be closed, and people who liked prac action today and hadn't yet got in would think, well, this is a freaking bargain, like I wish I'd have got in here earlier today. Wasn't able to, but now I can. And you get an increase in market participants, so that's positive. What else is happening down here? Well, some of the other indicators I've got on the chart, like I'll start with the stuff that's actually overlaid on price action, right? Well, these are me drawing potential outcomes based on the strength of the trend. We're in a channel, and I've got the measured move either side of it, which is represented by these white lines. And then, as you see, there's a Fibonacci that I've drawn that measures the strength of any retrace off this move. The various levels on that Fibonacci mean different things. I'll not explain it now because each one would take a while, and you're asking about every indicator on the screen, so we'll go through them briefly. These are things this is a area of horizontal support I drew on this morning when prices opened, and it proved to be quite a successful place to get in at, I think. At least I think that's where that came from. And then also you can see there's other fibs on here, there's other support and resistance levels, there's like measured moves from them, and there's Fibonacci. I've deleted the fib time zones, but you've still got your fib circles. These fib circles here, which aren't necessarily one of my favorite tools. Oh. Sorry, and I got rid of the long and short moves. Oh, that was on Twitter. So wow, Rocky's cooking and it smells so good. So there, don't. Why did I say 180? No, I was answering the questions. I think I answered that question. And now I'm answering a question about the indicators I've got on screen. Right. Well, these aren't indicators technically. These are drawings. Drawings. The Fibonacci is like there's two fibs there. There's the retrace and the upward move, and then there's an overall fib circle going through it from the high to low, and you can see the radial Fibonacci levels in it, and so that's like everything you can see in the chart there. I've also got behind there volume at the bottom. As you can see, this is with a moving average, a simple moving average over the top of it, which is handy because there's always spikes and anomalies in volume for a variety of reasons to do with the dynamics of trading, but generally speaking, a trend is important.
Asking Jamie says, don't be a paper-handed bee. We know what they did and we aren't going to take it anymore.
Hold for your family, friends, community, country, and apes. Hold the line and fuck the haters. Diamond Hand Dan. Awesome. What a name. Thanks so much for the donation. And yeah, that's very good, very well known phrase now. People have been saying it to me everywhere I go. Don't be a paper-handed bitch. I've been trying it on at the shop, actually, when I've been buying things at the shop. I've been like, do you want this money, you paper-handed bitch, or would you rather just have my gratitude and thanks? But they all want money. They are paper-handed bitches. As King Jamie says, King Jamie the First. Don't be a paper-handed bitch. Yeah, I mean, believe in yourself, guys. People like, is this too good to be true? I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, sure, everything will be too good to be true for you. If you do, then nothing's fucking good enough for you, and you deserve the best. Then you'll give it out to people. Maybe you do deserve it. You'll come your way. Trust me. don't, whatever. Just be a nice person. See how it gets you. Bet you'll be glad. CD, bringing it up with him being nice again. CD, thanks. If I go this way, I can see them without having to scroll back through chat, which makes it so weird. It all then updates and like huge, massive, speedy things. I was born in West Philadelphia. Born and raised. Is it Tony? I got into fight, so I went to move to Bel Air. Oh, right, that's nice. This reminds me of a story. To live with my Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil between me to buy GME, so I got in at $150. Thank you for your TA. Good on you, Uncle Phil. Oh my God, I've got, God, look at this, and it's got brown sauce on it. Can you see that? No, you can't, because I've made the thing too small. My God, I nearly dropped my sausage rolls. Look at that, look, there's some sausage rolls there. Amazing that I used to be a vegan. I was a vegan for a number of years, and now I can't believe that I wouldn't have eaten a sausage. The way shit goes. So that's awesome. So you've got that famous cousin who can dance, Carlin. He's awesome. Did we see any shorting pressure today? We didn't see much volume today. Did we see any shorting pressure? Not that I can see. There was at the pre-market, there was a bit of a fade, but that looked very deliberate in order to scoop up slightly cheaper shares. And as soon as the real market participants came in, it went up again. So, you know, we may see shorting pressure towards the end of the day, because I expect what is that I've got selected there? Hey, look, there's chat on screen. I could do that and put it there. But I've got chat beside me and you guys can all see it, right? Because you can do your thing and there's too much on screen at the best times. And this is like awful. Like, it looks like awful there. Sorry, guys. Prove this slightly. I've stopped being explaining my indicators to this guy because I got given sausages. Also, the windows aren't on screen there. So, like explain them. Well, and explaining how they work is one thing, which would actually, I mean, if I was to do it justice, each one would take about 15 minutes to explain how they work. But I'll briefly tell you that this is the MACD. To use, look at that. This is the MACD, right? That explains itself, doesn't it? This measures momentum. The way you use it to take trades is you say, well, when the MACD line, right? This. Which one's it set at? Blue or red? Blue. Crosses this apparently orange line, but that looks red to me. It's the signal line. That gives a buy signal. It's only or a sell signal. It's a buy signal if it's happening below the center line. The cross is below the center line. Then it's a buy signal if your exponential moving average 200, right? That's this other indicator on the screen. Your 200 simple moving average inputs. 200 simple moving average. If price action is above it, while the MACD is below the center line and there's a cross, then you go long. That's that indicator in itself giving you, that's how it works. This is RSI EMA, right? Now there's hundreds of millions of different ways you can use this. I use it as a confirmation on other trends. I use it to look for divergence, and if there's positive or negative divergence, it supports the trade that I'll be taking. There's areas where it's important to look to. As you can see down here in this area, you're in this is a 12-hour chart, so like make it even clearer on the daily chart. There's certain areas that defines the strength of a trend and the strength of any thrusting move. When your RSI is above 90, like 90, that's very, 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 very strong, and you can expect to see it turn around. When it's below 20, that's very, 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 very weak. 18, 17, 15, that's very fucking weak. And these things are traditional, like, are you want to know how this relates to the stonk you're trading, right? I'm giving you the GME answers, but other things, Bitcoin, for example, they've got other levels. Yo, Rocky, say hello. Oh my God, that roll's moldy. Where did it come from? Yeah, I told you before you left, the rolls were all moldy, yo. Thanks, good spot.
Hello, everybody.
Well, Rocky's just saved me from eating the mouldy rolls, which I did inform him about were old and mouldy, so he's obviously not picked up BAPs from the shop, so maybe he didn't see my chat. Anyway, so like there's levels within this that doesn't say on it, and the indicator on it, which you'll learn when you get used to it, about, whoa, this means this and that means that. It might take you a while, I don't know how long it takes individuals to do different things. And this is Rocky Outcrop's version of this RSI. So it's also got this EMA, which is very freaking helpful, right? Because you can see when the RSI has crossed its exponential moving average, which means that there's a trend change in that particular period of time. These are on the daily frame, right? So you can see if you were to match that up, which you can't because it's so small when I'm doing it, but like we knew it was that period of time it was positive, and then it went whoosh around, and then again, up, down, up, down, up, right? It defines the move that you're in, and you can then use it comparing it to previous periods of time to see how price action will compare to previous periods of time. And then if they say one performs the same as it did previously but another performs differently, then you can see that there's within there is a degree of divergence. So that's how you use the RSI. You can also compare previous highs to previous lows on the RSI. And the only way these work, those highs and lows, if it's actually a high and low on price action at the same time, and if the RSI has made it into the overbought or the oversold zone. And then you can compare relative divergences. You can also look for convergences using that thing. You can look for 1, 2, or 3 thrusts of divergence across the RSI, and it matches up really well if you use it in combination with the MACD, which also gives you divergences using the histogram. So I forgot to talk about that when I was talking about the bias angle, but here you've got a histogram in the middle of the MACD, and it defines the increasing or the decreasing strength of the momentum in that trend. And so, for example, if this was getting lower and lower and lower, which it is getting lower and lower, but at one stage on this move, price actually was lower. It was like I made a lower low on price, but this is higher lows on your indicator. This was bullish, hidden. This was bullish divergent uptrend. It was hidden bullish divergence. Fantastic. And so that's another way of using the MACD, also how you can combine it with the RSI. And then this other indicator I've got on screen, this is Rocky Outcrop's DMI. He's made adjustments to this in the areas that it does certain things, and he's also made it easier to use in terms of color. So it's nearly similar to the same as other DMIs, but crucially different in that its parameters for doing certain things are at different levels from others. So you just load up a DMI, it's different from this, right? I use this for a reason. And this is... the way you'd use it is, like again, there's various levels on the chart that are important. When you've got an ADX, this line in the middle that changes color. On this custom indicator, it changes color. You've got the DI plus, that represents the positive trend in price, and it's represented in yellow here. And you've got the DI minus, and that represents the negative trend. The strength of either the positive or the negative is represented by the ADX. When it's getting stronger, the dominant between the DI plus and the DI minus, it'll be getting stronger. It can do certain things that are really important. Now, we're looking at this on the daily, and I talked about this the other day, but this is a fucking amazing signal in DMI that's happening in front of our eyes. It's coming from the lowest possible place that it's likely to get to. And when it gets here, it's a signifying of a very strong move when it happens, whether that's positive or negative is defined by the DI plus and the DI minus. This is currently the one that win in the battle is the DI plus. In there we had a test, a fake out, it's up again. What else do you look for in this? Well, this particular indicator has a volatility element, which is anticipated with this thing, right? So when volatility is upcoming, this goes grey, right? And it suggests to you there's going to be a bigger move coming, and it'll happen when this flashes like off. When this goes off, this grey thing, and we move into the background and it's black and it's not flashing, like for example these areas here. What you'll see is quite far back there, and I can't bother zooming in. I'm only just going to run down on these indicators for your chap who asked about it. That's not the right one. It's this one. Buggery, buggery, buggery! And you know other YouTubers are going to watch this to learn how their indicators actually work. Just like they watch me to learn how to use their fibs. And then get caught talking about it in their discords. Anyway, so you go here, and this background's going to flash, right? It's going to flash off. It's going to go black again. At that point, prices are going to move. Then they're going to come back to where they were before they moved, and then the real trading is going to take off again. And this indicator does that. How does it do that? It's fucking amazing, isn't it? Rocky's does it. He's programmed it to do certain things, and I'm not going to go into it now, but it's brilliant. That always happens, and it works for a reason. It makes for some excellent trades, especially if you trade crypto. And what is it doing? Well, it's flipping up, right? And this ADX, also what's signified important about this is you've got an overbought and oversold zone. Like overbought and oversold are very confusing phrases. They don't mean what they would maybe literally be taken to mean. It just means that people think they're selling a lot of it or they're buying a lot of it. And typically that means that it's good or it's bad, and you should continue those trends. So even if things move out of it, because the relative strength at those times will drop, it'll then generally continue that trend again if it's in those areas. It's like the weather. If it's sunny today, it's sunny tomorrow. If it's raining today, it's likely raining tomorrow. And that trend will be changed on the DMI. You'll know because the DI plus and DMS, they'll cross. They'll cross definitively, not fake out cross like this, but they'll cross. And at the same time, the DI, the ADX will strengthen that trend. It'll increase the duration it's currently going. At the minute, it's pointing up. That's really positive. It's pointing up as this is up. That's really positive. Well, else you're above the 38. When the ADX gets above the center line, the color, this one, it'll change to signify things are looking slightly better. You could be quite positive here. When it gets then above the 38 line, traditionally on GME, that means it's a very strong trending move. It'll be different in different places. And this is like 39's GME, 30, 40, 38, I think is Bitcoin. Anyway, whatever. The point being that it's different in different things. So you go over time, you learn it. You trade this a long time, you learn it. And that's your ADX. And then on the actual chart again, you've got your exponential and your simple moving averages. I use the 200 and the 100 simple moving averages. They're by far the best. If you're using anything else, good luck to you. On the longer time frames, on every time frame, and then on the smaller moving average, the exponential moving averages I use are the 20. Let's get them up here. 21. It's on. It should be 20. 55, 100, 200, right? These are exponential moving averages. I use them for a reason because they help me confluence when we've got an edge, right? And I only take certain moves with certain indicators are doing certain things at certain times along with others. And so this is one of these. Those that I use are these indicators, right? Do I use a moving average trading strategy? No, I don't. Like maybe I did for the first, like for a relative period, like short period of time, years ago. No, I've got much higher statistical reliability things than a moving average cross. And when I trade moving average crosses all the fucking time, constantly trading moving average crosses and golden crosses and death crosses, especially on 4-hour time frames and above, and I know how to trade them on a retest with a breakout, and then you'll use signals from your candlestick patterns that'll put in reasons to take trades and that, and you combine all these things together and you've got a trading strategy with an edge which is like outperforms the market, and you're likely to do well over time trading if you've got strong self-discipline. You don't get carried away by fear or greed, and that's how those things work. And there's all the indicators including the volume. I think I covered all of the ones that are on screen at the minute, and hope that's some help to you, buddy. And if you want to know more information about that sort of thing, you can tune in any of my videos that talk about anything in the world, because I talk about them all the time. But I've also got videos on my playlist called like the best indicators to use, where you'll have Rocky will explain some of these things, I'll explain other ones, I'll explain like reversal trading, breakout trading, how to use them at different times, and it's great information. So help yourself fill your boots. That smile, somebody's smiling, good to see. As King Jamie says, don't be a paper-handed bitch. That was that message, and we loved it, and that was from Diamond Hand Dan, which is brilliant, cartoony type names, brilliant. Queen B, Rocket Crop, can you share your YouTube link for those who are new, please? I can share it here, maybe, can I? Where Rocky's making, I think, baps, or is he in the kitchen making something else? .com/Rocky out crop. YouTube.com/Rocky Outcrop. Have I spelled it right? That's his link there. And then pin message. So it should be at the top of chat. Anyone wants to see Rocky Outcrop. He's covering market close today. He's as good or better at TU than me. You'll never go wrong. Listen to him. I can guarantee you that. I've got 5 dislikes. How's that possible? Ken Griffin's wife, Ken Griffin's, who I imagine his neighbours don't like him very much. Who else? Is he paying? Is Ken Griffin paying people to dislike my video? How else is it possible? It must be that. Fuck, there's 832 likes. Holy crap. Please answer. Yeah, I'll answer, mate. What will be the lowest price on GME be? What, in historically, looking back? Like $4, high $3, and then in this move, the low, we'll all wish, and you look back and everyone's like famous, looking back now, like these are the famous people. These are the people who took it when everybody else was saying they're crazy. It's $38. And that's what defines a lot of the chat. A lot of the people in chat are here because of that moment. And that's why we don't give a fuck anymore, because we already listened to all the shit back then. Like we're going to believe it now. We didn't believe it then. And then, so that's what I answered. What will be the lowest price? Like, you're asking me, like, what's the best entry to get, like, and you're really risk averse, then you put your order in at 156.79. But if you're, like, trying to get in and you're like, shit, what's the lowest entry of a price today? Then you'll be lucky to get 180. That's that. please answer. And it's 1, 2, 3. All you need to do, right, like rather than like repeat the same thing over and over again, because that's going to make you think that I'm not listening to you. But actually, those messages are right next to each other. So if I'd missed one, I would have missed them all. 1, 2, 3. All you need to do is write at Tradespotting, and then it comes up with an orange thing, and I can see it much more clearly that you're talking to me. And I don't try to avoid anyone's message, whether you're a member or a Patreon member, or like you're like Daniel, you've got loads of accounts supporting the channel. I'll talk to you. You know, I don't mean to avoid anyone. So just try and get your attention that way. But don't spam the chat with the same thing over and over again, because like this community is incredible on YouTube. It's really nice. Like it's good people, and like we want to keep, even the chat's awesome and that, and like so the odd person might be like rah 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 and that, and I want you to protect you as well as them and everybody feel positive. So that's the chat. It doesn't look like it's retracing to the low 180s. No, it doesn't look like it. You're right. It doesn't look like it. But it never does until it does. So, and like, I'm trying to give people advice for good entries here. Like, and the truth is that was $40. It was $135. It was $156, and it was 100 whatever it was there the last time. So we'll see. You know, if you and it's like that's the. Sorry, so make this is like something we can actually look at. I know it doesn't look like it, but it also then doesn't quite look like it's hitting 220, you know, Stefan. So is it Stefan that asked that? So like, so then you put in like statistically reliable trades, right? It's based on what's statistically reliable, and often it won't look like it's going to go there, you know, and that's why people lose money. So like it's like anything in life, right? It might look good, but what's under the hood? Looks aren't everything. Trust me. Trust me. So what else was there? I'm not going to get anything there. I was like asking people. Jen Saha. JN Saha. Love from the 6 crypto forum fudding Reddit GME. Love from the 6 crypto FOMO fudding Reddit GME. Feck, I can't work out what that means. Love from the 6. That part I know is very nice. I don't know what the 6 is, but I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Much of love back to the 6. Crypto FOMO fudding Reddit GME. Crypto FOMO. Are people fudding FOMO in crypto? Like, why? Because it's had a bit of a bounce. Look at that. This is a fucking nightmare happening here. We were here earlier on chat. We were up here and I was like, this is a sell. And what is it? It's clearly a fucking sell. Woo, Jimmy's right again. It's fucking obvious call, that one. I said this was a sell. It obviously was. Look, will people re-enter there? Of course they will. Doesn't mean it's going up. Maybe. Is it statistically reliable? Nah, it's the same deal. Like that entry is 224 if you're even thinking about trying that. And are you trying that? Like 220, 228. Like, are you trying that? There's a crosses coming up here that it's going to retest. You know, that is. I'm not going to tell you to sell it now because I told you to sell it back there. But I mean, that's that. So I'm not sure if I understand. Crypto FOMO fudding Reddit GME. Obviously, I'm on Reddit GME at the minute. I'm over here. But they're quite good. They're all good at taking care of themselves there at the GME subreddit and super strong. So if they're trying to fud it, they'll just get ditched. And I don't know if I have understood your message, but you're very generous to donate to put it in there. So if you want to say it, I'll look out for your name. And you don't have to donate again if you want to talk about it more, and I'll touch on it again. So thanks very much, Jane. And what else have I missed that was coming in here when I was doing that stuff? I explained all those indicators reasonably well, right? But if you want any more details on anything in particular, you can let me know. Somebody said 2 million. Volume at 2.7 million, slowly rising. Yeah, it was already, like, relative for the period of the day. It was at 1.9 something earlier, and I was like, what? It's only been like half an hour in the day, an hour. It's already up there. Now it's at 2.7. That's more than it's been, you know. Considerably more than it's been last week. Liquidity drying up, volume down, 50-cent spread. The volume's dropping in the last wee while. Is it? Let's say when the volume's been dropping over a longer period of time, in the intraday period it might have been going up, and in the even smaller time frames then it may have been dropping again. So let's check these things out. Luke usually knows what he's talking about. So there's the volume spike. There's the volume dropping again. Yeah, these are all right. Oh, that's Ethereum. Same difference. Same thing, right? Volume dropping again. Below the moving average again. Spike on the volume took us up here but no further, and now we're underneath this channel, and it's like people saying looks like we're not going to get back to 180. Might then say, oh fuck's sake, Tradespotting did it again. And my god, those sausages are flying out for me to eat them. So if there's like let's see. I mean, if I go away off and it hits 180 and I'm not here, and you are all like checking on your phones, and you're like, well, now what's going to happen? Tradespotting's not here anymore. What is going to happen? Well, the question isn't just 180. Like, it's like, yeah, well, it's going to bounce at 180 perhaps, or else it's going to bounce down at this support that we drew in earlier. All right, yeah, I already told you, so you don't need to worry. So if I'm not around and you see what's happened, this might be what happens, right? Like, this is a 180 trade with inflection around again, 194, 197. Picture on the thumbnails, like. We've come to the end of the story now. When you see these, you think, right, that's what he was talking about in his thumbnail, and everything that I've said on the way up here is what makes me think that, along with hundreds of other things which are too boring to talk about. And then potentially we drop below the 180, test down here, put in some bullish divergence, confirm the major, like the stronger level of support. And these are small time frames, so don't minutes, but it's had a number of tests in and around here. It's also the 236 of this fib. It's also the 0.5 of this fib. It's then causes like the measured moves, and it causes also it's in line with the patterns that we've been putting in recently. So later on today, this is what we would expect to see the price action doing, and then Rocky will pick us up and carry us through into the end of the day. So that's how that looks. At the start of today's stream, I wanted to have like some people will have seen the will have heard it before we started playing. I wanted it to start and then bring in our friend. It would start like after the starting screen, it would zoom to Coco, and Coco's face would be on as we heard this. But unfortunately, Coco was sleeping, and I didn't want to wake him up, so we didn't get to hear it. We did get to hear it, but we didn't get to see him do it. So unfortunately, that's the way that went. Let me just check here. Desktop audio is not working. Audio input capture is me. Right, so yes. Oh, there it is there. Change that. Isn't it really strange when you play Spotify and you're giving your Spotify account out to loads of multiple people, so you start just playing music and you know that it's not playing in your house because it's playing in one of their houses somewhere because they've got your Spotify. So there you go, have some Doom Hellwalker soundtrack in your living room, buddy, whichever buddy it is that's got my Spotify on at the minute. Which it may well be me, because I've got loads of Alexas plugged in and it loves to do shit all the time. So anyway, Alexa. Oops, I did it wrong, and now it's going to be paused and listening to me, and I'm not saying anything. Sorry for ruining your Alexas, folks. Yes, so Alexa, play Rip and Tear from the Doom Originals soundtrack. Now my Alexas are playing, which Rocky will be a little bit perturbed by. Right, so let's go back over the chat and see if anybody's got any questions or anything they need, would like to know or would like to talk about, and want to say thanks to everybody who's tuned in. This is amazing amounts of people. Can you please work screen? Oh, it does. Alexa, stop. Thanks, Rocky. Didn't stop yet. J. Welder Jr. Oh, who came up with the original, came up with these audio. Oh, I've got to scroll past the chat. I've missed loads of things. Sorry, guys, catching up with all that. Rocky's link to his channel in chat. I pinned that at the top, so check Rocky's. There's Love from 6. Okay, right. I was going back up, so I was going back to cover chat. More ants, yeah. 157 would be safe limit order. Yep, somebody been watching the show says that. Alexa, play Graveyard. They take us for fools. Alexa, play Graveyard. They take us for fools. Alexa, I can't keep saying everybody's one, but dude, hundreds of Alexas just started all over the world. Yeah, awesome. My dad has got songs on Spotify. I should be playing his songs, and I should be saying that. Like, play this. Alexa, play I Believe by James Curran. Here's a station based on songs you might like. That's not good enough, Alexa. I wanted that album. Alexa, stop. Rocky doesn't like Alexa, so he's stopping it every time I start it. Yeah, it would be, but I can't hear it through here, so it doesn't matter. I'm saying it so that everybody at home can hear the songs. And it's not copyright anyway. It's Dad's music. Who the fuck is James Fortune? There's only one James Curran. There's two actually. Me and my dad. Tradespotting 8 from Andy. 8 from Japan. What's your thoughts on the recent high reverse repo usage for treasuries? Reverse repo use for treasuries. Reverse repositions. On the high recent reverse repos usage for treasuries. What's the usage for treasuries? What's my thought on the uses for treasuries? The high repo rate. I'm not sure 100% understand the question or the implications of it. 8 from Japan. What's your thoughts on the recent high reverse repo usage for treasuries? Maybe I'm just being thick because those are all words I understand. I'm just not sure what the question means. Sorry, buddy. I'll think about it and I'll answer you in the comments, right? After I go, Max Payne was 165 this morning. Some folk are pissed. Some folks are fucking pissed. Like the Max Payne's really useful to check, but you have to look at it alongside open interest on yeah, you have to do the complete opposite of what this chap that's going short on GME constantly does. You have to look at the open interest. You have to look at it with the contracts that are expiring, maybe say within the next week. You have to add up that open interest. And then you have to compare that to...
You should be playing my music on Spotify under moniker Ansonian Thunder.
You should be playing my music on Spotify under moniker Ansonian Thunder. Daniel, you're on Spotify, Ansonian Thunder. Well, I might get a copyright bust if you're known for the music. You in the music, Daniel? Is that where your big bucks come from? I'm going to listen to that music later. And then if it's you and if I get permission, then I'll slap it on the... or maybe you've got a Spotify username and I could just be playing your music on your playlist. Well, I'll investigate what you mean there, Daniel. And you've donated again. That's so generous of you. I should definitely be playing some music. People maybe get bored. We've got 790 viewers, which is kind of incredibly... Pardon? So close to the Dalai Lama story, yeah, well, very close, but we're not there. I mean, it's 1,000 concurrent viewers, and then you get the Dalai Lama story, but we're not there yet, so we don't get it. Jamie is at 185.50 for me. Why is it 184.82 for Jamie? I'm 185.27. What chart are you using, mate? Are you using TradingView? Bamba Jama again. Yo, play Gravedigger by Dave Matthews later. I will do. I'll stick that on. Did somebody say that as well? Somebody said that. Was that you said that? Somebody said that. I will stick it on. Thanks, Bamba Jama and everybody else. Big Bucks, Daniels, true. Mass Spectrometer. Where is this info? Can you link it? What are you saying, Mass Spectrometer?
Play Gravedigger by Dave Matthews later.
Awesome. She's like, why does she read some stuff out and not others? I don't understand. Thanks very much for the donations, everybody, and all the new members. Welcome to the family. And I can see 2 on the screen at once now. It's kind of fun when I see that. Thanks. Makes me feel like these big YouTubers are... Well, wouldn't that be great? I got James Fortune too. Yeah, screwed James Fortune. 123. Nothing is for sure, but death and taxes is to do with the Fibonacci retracement level. What are you asking now? 123. Let me see. Is that for sure 100%? Says 123. 123, 123, 123 ABC. I was wondering because if it goes back to 150, I can afford 2 more shares. Cool. If it goes back to 150, right. Well, that's beyond the levels where you're looking to get it from. And if it's back at 150, then you're probably actually like, I mean, there's not just like pick these things out of my ass. Like there's real targets for a reason. Like 150 isn't one of them. It's 156, mate, or just above. And then when you're like below 156, it's like 149, 148. And is it going to get there? It's probably not even going to get to 150. Feckity feck, and that right. I know what that's like, but you wish you'd found the channel earlier, buddy. Maybe you did, and since then we haven't got down there. 157 would be a good safe limit order, is what Minor M has been putting out there, which is true. I don't know, buddy. I mean, it could wick down to 146. You know, it could wick down there. There's something on the 4-hour chart that says that's still possible. I can't rule it out yet. It's just increasingly unlikely with every day that passes. Do you have to enter right now? No, I mean, you can wait and see how things go out. If they go for over the next period, the next couple of days, then you might get a slightly better entry, but I wouldn't bet on it. Yep, Dalai Lama story time very soon. Yeah, it seems like it's happening, though. It seems like it's nearly happening, which will be nice, because I haven't talked about it in a while. It'll be nice, and you guys will all love that. Don't play music, says Midweek Meltdown. Okay. Well, I don't want to do anything that pisses people off. I haven't quite got the audience to start pissing you off yet, guys. Yeah, fucking fannies. I won't play music yet. Meltdown, don't worry. It's all over Superstonk, Doppelganger, and Tradespotting. Reverse repo usage is through the roof and rising. Oh, the reverse repo usage. Yeah, so people are just going back to reverse repos rather than paying their debts. Rivers rising. Corporate debt levels are terrible. The overnight debt levels are rising. The Fed has started pulling. Invisible stuff. Deleted that message. Damn it. The Fed is pulling liquidity out of the markets. The infrastructure plan from Biden is smashed. The inflation targets have been smashed totally through the roof, and yeah, so like things are screwed over there for various reasons. Like, but then things always get screwed at various reasons at various times. So what's coming next? I mean, I don't think the reverse repo rates. Like, what you really want to be looking at is like I'm not talking about all that stuff generally speaking. Because I don't know how it's related to GME, but you seem like a nice chap and know what you're talking about. So where was your message? Oh, you were explaining further the reverse repo are increasing. Yeah, and so what normally you'd be looking at that, does that mean that there's credit issues? And credit means liquidity, generally speaking. So is there liquidity issues because of credit? Don't know, mate. I don't know. Like, it's such a big question, you know, and there's so many little implications for it. Like, what are the implications of that for GME? Well, at the minute, like, we're trying to escape a lot of that with GME. You know, a lot of people that put money in GME have noticed how it reflects out, like how the negative beta I was talking about earlier. It's like that sort of thing. Alexa, why aren't you Siri? That's a good question. Stop saying Alexa. Okay, I will do. Oh shit, I read that message out. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, buddy, no problem. I'll stop saying it. Sorry, everybody. I got carried away with that chat about the musical playing device. I'll stop doing that. Space Shanty by the Senate. I want to learn what that is. What is that? Just stopping by. I want to know what that is. Thanks for everybody who's answering other people's questions. That's really helpful. Team Pokerus. Team Pokerus. GME is 185.50. Oh right, so that was asking why my price was different from yours. Are you using TradingView? Sometimes this video will have a little degree of latency, so or lag or whatever the word is. So you'll see prices on my chart slightly differently, like seconds behind what on your chart, or maybe 15 seconds. I don't know. So that might be why. Daniel, that message again. Daniel's and Luke are the two people that keep this channel freaking going. Grave. Oh, I've got that. Yeah, I'm not going to say those things out more anymore. Right. Okay. So I've got through it. Invisible stuff says the end. Prey and eyes. What's that? What's the story that's ending? Oh, above here, market March the 1st. Impair the appearance of disfigure. Your dog's song is class, in my opinion, says Vin Kane. Fight, you got to listen to it. Cheers, Vin. Great to see you again, buddy. Thanks for that. Great to see you here. Always great to see you here. Thanks for that message and all the positive comments. You're a great supporter. Thanks so much. And yeah, check out James Curran, I believe, for some good fun. Corporate debt is terrible. GME got zero debt. Yes, it has zero debt. Could even lend people money. In fact, it could do a share buyback, couldn't it? It could start truly acting like Apple, and they could say right now, GME could come out and say, we're going to start repurchasing shares. We're going to start buying them back off the market. You know, so people ask like, what could trigger the squeeze? Well, 101,000 things could trigger the squeeze. Like, and Ryan Cohen could do it at any time he wanted, with any number of hundreds of announcements that he could make, which he doesn't even need to follow up on, right? It could all just be making plans to do things. And if he was, you know, maybe he will. 4.2% inflation. Well, that's fucking awful. That was spot on, Doppelganger. Cool, thanks for helping out, Doppelganger. Betting against Musk. Well, plenty of people do. Not many people have won in that regard, but I'm pretty disappointed with his behaviour recently. Interest has gone down from 1% on Santander to 0.65 to 0.6 to 0.55 to 0.5 over a few months. Yeah. Well, you were lucky you were getting 1%, right? That's fucking awesome. If you're talking about a savings account, then that's a total joke. Which genius can we trust? Rocky Outcrop. You can trust him. His pin's at the top of his channel's at the top there. He is a certified genius. He did an IQ test and is a genius. Like story of us is that in Edinburgh, I kept getting expelled. Like, kept getting expelled from schools until there was like no school were interested. And there was one of the best schools in a different part in Ireland. One of the best schools. They said, like, my dad had been there, and my mum's brothers had been there. They said, well, we'll take a look and see if they can let those two into this school. And they said, holy shit, we want Richard, Rocky, we need Rocky in our school. But they said, we're not really interested in Jamie. And so that we came as a package deal. So they took me on. And then I came first in the country in my A-levels in 3 of them. Or 2 of the 3 that I did. So they fucking lucky they got me in the wankers. Fucking stupid piece of shit school. But they took me on because Rocky is a certified genius. He's incredible at what he does. He's the smartest person in nearly every room you'll walk into. And if you follow him for technical analysis advice, you will not go wrong, ever. He's called every top and every bottom in every asset he's ever looked at. And all of this stuff is checked. You can check all of this stuff. He will stack up compared to anyone else in the world that does this. So he's the genius you can trust. And you can see Jamie's dad live on YouTube. Yeah, you can. If you search James Curran, I believe, you'll see him there. And we get a lot of our... If only we had quite all of his charisma, we'd probably do fantastic, even better on YouTube. I didn't go sell myself for money today, so I figured I would share stuff on the World Wide Web, says Invisible Stuff, with a sad face. Don't be sad, Invisible Stuff, and don't ever be sad. And I don't understand the context of that message, but everything's cool, buddy. And if you're in AMC or JME, then things will be looking up shortly. Don't worry. And I'm always here. You can always send us a message. If you're ever feeling down, drop us a message on any of those places I mentioned earlier. And take care of yourself and don't do anything silly. What did you think the floor would be? Are you asking me? It's, get the fuck out of my garden prices, like 19 million. Riffle Pinto, lots of rockets, no one. Wow, lots of crayons on this chart. Yes, this is full of crayons, mate. This is where I'll keep my crayons until such times as I'm about to eat them. You'll know I like the yellow ones. Green ones, like I would love to love the green ones because I've heard you should eat green things every day, but I don't like green crayons. I'm all about yellow and red. What's your favourite? I had money in Santander savings account and seen that it's been going down. It's going down, especially in the parties in the front. What are you talking about there? Wall falls, sea level, still waters, always level, on the floor, plum bombers. Hey, Invisible Stuff, you're talking in tongues there. Don't get it, but I hope you're doing good. Sounds like Ricky Bobby slingshot move. Oh my god, I have no idea what's happening in chat. You can get water to hang upside down on a globe. You can't get it to hang upside down unless you have a magic cell phone machine or a televisual machine. Not in real life. A television machine. A television machine. I have no idea what's happening in the chat. These are all way off, too crazy for me. Hedgies better start buying those $185 calls. That's at 185.64s. What are the $185 calls like? Is there a big open interest on them? I'd like to know. The max paying at 165 means like boom, boom, boom. Bye in those expirations. But you've got a week. Most of them. Well, I mean, what contract are we targeting? What expiry are we talking here? But yeah. Profanity is a weak mind trying to express itself, so now I can't believe anything he says. Goodbye, brothers and sisters. I'm not sure who Invisible's talking to or whatever, but I use profanity profusely, and I have a very strong mind. But if you've gone, okay. It's just so weird. I don't understand what's happening. Maybe I shouldn't read chat. What do you think the vote percentage will be? My guess, 400%. Yeah, I think it'll be like... Question is it over 140, 150%? Like, I wonder about the rehypothecation. Like, when you look at it, like, it's effectively allowing someone to, in America, as you do, issue shares to be loaned to the point of 140% of what you've actually got, means that, somebody just needs to borrow enough of them, and they've effectively got, like, more fake shares, and then they can loan it out again, and then that can just keep happening, and effectively 140% becomes infinite percent. So... It'll be very interesting to find it out, but like just anything over 140% would be crazy, guys? Even though, I mean, that's us talking now because we're so conditioned to the nonsense, but anything over 100% is, of course, crazy. What else is everybody saying here? Rocky Perez. Look up Rocky at Crop on YouTube. He's Jamie's brother and another technical analysis. God. Well, also you can click the link that I've pinned to the top of chat here. That's his channel. At least I think it is. It should work if you click it. If not, tell me. Invisible Stuff. Goodbye. Take care. Yeah, take care, Invisible Stuff. Don't forget to like the video. More engagement. Yes, please. Tradespotting. Odds of GME breaking 180 resistance today. Odds. 50-50. 50-50. Look at GME go up across the price action like that. Did you see that? It just followed the line I drew up, and it was really nice. I love watching that ball do that. You're all voting on, getting excited about it. Don't forget to like the video. Yes, please. Thanks very much. Thanks everybody for all those sort of things, and subscribe, please. Like, I need to get the subscribers up to 10,000, or I don't need to. I'd love to, and if we can get up to 10,000, I think that you get certain extra other abilities on YouTube as a content creator if you've got 10,000. So I don't know what it is, but like, and some of them seem like maybe not, and they're hardly not likely to offer them to me because they seem not like me. But we'll see what happens. So if you subscribe, thanks very much. And if we get to 10,000, I was going to do something special for the monkeys. What should it be? I could just do a boring donation, but we'd like to do something fun. Maybe stuff we can get them on video somehow. So let's look into that. So thanks very much for everybody who wants to like, subscribe, and so on. Might give it a try. Invisible Stuff, goodbye, take care. Okay, got that. Trace models with that. 50-50, mate. Invisible Stuff research says profanity is actually a positive reflection of the inflective principles of language uses. Invisible Stuff research. Research says profanity is actually a positive reflection of the inflective principles of language usage. Fuck yeah. That's right. Mass spectrometer knows the fucking chat. I'm sure there are people that use profanity because they don't have a wide vocabulary, but I am both vivacious, loquacious, and very interested in expressing myself with the right words at the right time. So if I think that that word happens to be "go fuck yourself," then those are the words I'd be using. As for a weak mind, you can judge. You're very welcome to judge what you think my mind is like. I've had plenty of feedback on it before, and often it's, Jesus Christ, why are you so full of conviction and so abrupt, until such times as later on they're like, whoa, you were right. So let's say a vote is 150, over 150% of the float. What happens then? Would it trigger some sort of regulation? It would likely lead to there having to be the situation sorted out. I mean, it's not like they couldn't conceive of how it's possibly happened. It's because of rehypothecation, and that in itself isn't illegal. And it has happened before that companies have votes and more than 100% of people vote because the shorters are able to vote with their shares too. It has happened before and doesn't like cause some sort of implosion. But there would then maybe be a share recall of some sort. Like, it's so difficult to do that sort of thing. And then again, there's loads of questions about how that would work, but that might be what happens. Or at least brokers are involved in like a pseudo recall process sort of thing. That might happen. What's up with VW? Oh no, it's not holding. What's not holding? We're at 185. What's not holding? Don't forget Salacious. I love keeping it. I love it. Keep being you, bro. Thanks, Randy. Randy Troll. It's a great name. Space Cat. People say we monkey around. They do. We do monkey around. They're right. We do. We monkey around, but we do it for the right reasons. You know, young at heart. Be you. That's why we love you. Thanks, Randy. Yeah, it's very difficult being anybody else. Apparently, they're all taken in that, but it's very difficult for me to self-censor in that. I'm afraid that people will start to sell when the floor hits, when they shouldn't be doing that, because the floor equals dealing, and if they do that, a downtrend will start. Not necessarily start a downtrend, but yeah, I mean, the downtrend, like, to supply and demand, you know, it doesn't matter if some people sell if the demand outstrips it, which I quite think it will be. You know, a lot of people that are selling at a lot of these targets that were relevant maybe in February now aren't relevant anymore. Like, they couldn't be fucking less relevant, in fact. And a lot of people don't know that yet, so they'll still have orders in there. And I feel sorry for them because the price could go far beyond that. And then, you know, they just miss out. Rocco Crippy. Oh, Rocco Crippy, I recognise you, of course. Welcome to Chimps. Thanks very much for joining. That's great to get all this today. It's been a really nice day. Thanks for everybody. So many people have tuned in to view it and so many likes and stuff, and then loads of donations. Very, very generous people. Thank you very much. And then people joining up to support as a members as well, which is brilliant. And don't forget, you get emojis in there, right? And I don't notice if I've seen any, but I added in a Chad emoji, which I expected some people would talk about. You know, often I'll say ridiculously arrogant, abrupt things, and I thought people would be spamming the chat with the Chad emoji at that point. There's also AMC and GME, and you can get excited by hitting those things and express, like Zaris has just done, that the hedges are totally fuck. Cat love stole. Carl love stole. What did you stole, Carl? Carl said before he's correcting himself. Thank you, Tradespotting. I joined after the stole from my son and nephews. Closed a huge call up. 96% up in a week. Together strong, be kind. They stole. Are you in a call at the minute? It's up 96%. That's fantastic. Well done. If that was when they stole off your son and nephews, then fuck. I mean, I get angry when people steal off me. But if I had a son, which I don't, and somebody stole off him, which I would go fucking mental. Like, it's like when anyone does anything that annoys Rocky, it's like I want to rip their freaking head off. But if it was to me, I'd be just laughing at them and calling them a fanny. Whereas if it's like, you know, it's like, can't handle that stuff. So they stole off you, fuckers, you know, stealing and that and getting away with it, it's fuckers, like, and then if you were to do similar thing to them, you imagine the consequences. So it's really difficult, you know, and sometimes I wonder how it is that we fight back against these arseholes. How do we do it? And that's one of the reasons why I was so fucking delighted when GME became this fucking sword we can use to chop their heads off, destroy them, this route to radical vengeance that I've been looking for a long time has finally arrived right at the right time. And their time is always right for doing the right thing. And so thanks, and for everybody who's taken time to explain things in chat and go over the details with people. They took away Baron Robin Hood, yeah, they did. They took it away. They took it away. My son. Can't imagine how annoyed I'd be at that, Curl. And also, you know, when you think your son's done something well and you're pleased for him, you know, and you're like, you can see the effect that that'll have on his whole life and development, that he's made a decision that's proved him right, and then they fucking come in and do that and chop his legs from under him. So like, thanks very much for everybody taking the time to have conversations and explain things to each other and chat and be so friendly, especially at times when I snap into the angry stuff. We've got 777 viewers. That's very lucky. Thanks everybody who's tuned in. Remember, Tradespotting isn't some chundling choo-choo how-to train that explains the how-to, the why not, the logic and the reason. We don't give a fuck about that anymore. Tradespotting is a maglev of pain headed for a heart of darkness. And these fuckers who stole from that guy's son, who stole from you, who stole from me, have been doing it for generation after generation, destroying wages, destroying the real value of money, destroying companies, destroying every community that you can possibly imagine has been affected by this, apart from the very select few. They've fucked things up.
You were up early.
Brother, you are up early.
Is it true that FUD is a bad slang word in Scotland?
FUD.
Keep up the great streams. Cheers, Tumbler Glass.
Yes, Tumbler Glass. Cheers, Rocco Groupie and Jekyll S. So this is two interesting news. Jekyll, interesting name. Brother, you are up early this morning. Thank you for your hard work and give no shits attitude. Absolutely love your channel. Love hearing that feedback. Thanks so much, Jekyll. You love it or you hate it. It's great to have you here. Thanks for that. And to donate, it's very generous. Thank you so much. Rocco, you just joined up and now you've already put in another donation. You're a fucking legend. Thanks so much. Is it true that FUD is a bad slang word in Scotland? It's not bad. It's a great slang word. And somebody who's a FUD, like an utter FUD, that's how we talk about it. You're an utter FUD. They tend to make the stupidest fucking decisions in the most obvious of fucking times. And they're utter FUDs. And you meet them and you can't stand them and they're fucking everywhere. Yeah, it is a slang word. And it's actually a type of thing over here. Complete muppets. A FUD is the same thing as a total muppet. Brother, you're up. Thanks, I got that message. So that's it. And yeah, and you heard me there. We're a fucking maglev of praying. We're heading straight for the heart of darkness. We're not slowing down. If anything, this week we're speeding things up. And what's price action doing? It's accommodating us. It's fucking accommodating us. As you can see, as Jimmy slightly glows over 186.20 is true. Stefan is right. Or is it Stefan or was it Worthy? Is Worthy here? And we might, or is it the same person? Is it that we might We might not get that 180 possible. AB, that's so educational. Thank you so much. I hope it was really education. You're going to tune in. Pew Pew. I love your name. I love Pew Pew's name too. Where is he? I feel great. Huge, 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 huge feel. Aaron. Another Aaron. Great. Good to see you, Aaron. New Aarons. Lots of bananas in chat. Love that. And GME. Love that. Scottish Independence. Woo, says Paul T. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I was in utter FUD this morning for missing my bite. Oh no, native flight. That is unlucky. Still, there may be other occasions today, so keep her lit, buddy. Together we are bigger than the whales. Yeah, we are literally a whale together. Ourselves, we're like a huge gorilla whale. It's livable and natural. That must be about the question of Scottish independence. It may well be natural. Maybe that people decide that there's other concerns at the moment in terms of that thing, but it's interesting. It's interesting to live at these moments, I think, anyway. Together we are bigger than the whale. Got that. Thanks so much, Roya Perez. His passion is so encouraging. Roger Perez. Roger Perez. That's cool. Sorry, Richie knows. Midweek meltdown. Do you still call people Neds? Neds. Well, it became socially unacceptable because it stands for non-educated delinquent, and so that's seen to be applying a characterizations to one particular type of class of people. So it's kind of like fell a little bit less popular, but that's not to say that there aren't still Neds. They're fucking everywhere. Neds, chavs, spides, scaffs, tramps. Tramps is not right. Scaff's not right either. They're like people who are real cheap. And Tramp's a bad one too, because it's like not really. It's like references things that aren't particularly fair, like homelessness. But yeah, I mean we've got loads of fucking words, and we don't particularly care how sensitive somebody is to hearing them. And you know the C word is what we use to talk about somebody who's a good guy. So if we're calling someone a fud, or a Ned, you know, Ned's is the sort of thing that boomers say. They're like, oh, you're such a Ned. You're such a Ned. It's like boomers in Scotland say Ned. And that, and like, just chill out and say chap, right? It's fine. You can say chap. And if you can't handle that, then just call him a fanny, right? I'm totally a Ned. Queen Bee, you're totally not a Ned. Aaron. Lewis, I saw a number plate with FUD on driving around Heathrow with a van full of Scots. They said you'll never see a FUD plate up the road. Yeah. So a FUD is a plonker, Rodney. Exactly. A FUD is a total plonker. Tradespotting. Over 500,000 shares were borrowed today. I thought they would be used to short Jamie. Looking like a huge mistake on my part. Do you have any idea what's going on with the 500k borrow? Well, they, you know, when were they borrowed exactly? Because there was a fade as soon as markets opened, which may have been used in order to buy. I mean, so stock operators borrow shares in order to short a stock to push the price down so they can get in cheaper than the price currently is, and when it goes back up they give those shares back to the person who lent them to them, and either they'll pay them the interest rate or there's like a separate deal where they'll give them a chunk of those shares that they've now got cheaper as the recompense for borrowing the shares. And depending on how much you trust the fund manager or whoever the fuck it is that's doing this, then yeah, like that's one of the things. So like, while shares are used to borrow, shares are borrowed, really they're borrowed to go short. You know, you don't. That's not how you use margin. If you're these people, like your margin is your collateral. It is not something you've borrowed. It can be to push prices down, but the people that push prices down, generally speaking, want to get better orders, especially if they're fading the price at the start of a day. 500,000 shares is a lot, and it didn't go down that much. But then volume came in and was quite heavy, so let's see, you know, maybe it was part of the play, maybe it's a couple of people, maybe someone knows what someone else is doing. And that's the end of that. And I'm going to get off now, so that Rocky's got plenty of time to prepare for market close. 6:10 here, I don't know what that means, that's quite late. That means that Rocky will be on soon. I've been on for fucking ages here. How did I manage to stay on so long? I've no idea. 3 hours 50 minutes, shit, I fucked up. Nearly a 4-hour stream. I've really fucked up. Sorry for that, guys. Sorry particularly to Rocky because I've delayed him and it means that I've not done work in other areas which I should have done. Thanks for coming and tuning in. AP Lopez, Space Cat and Queen Bee, Apple Blossom, Stefan S, Backup Bump. Where is the greatest? We haven't seen him today. Apple Blossom, Native Flight, Queen Bee. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you've all had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed your Monday. I hope I made had you some benefit there. Let's see the prices as the amount 185.34. So yep, this quite likely does prove to be what I said to be true, unless we get a boom spurt up, which is also kind of what I said is possible. So let's see how that goes. Thanks very much for everybody Who tuned in? Whoa, chat looks fucking crazy when you go to that menu. Whoops, I'm at the wrong menu. Go away. Don't want this up at the minute. I want this to be on this. And then, aha, cam. Right, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. Remember, Rocky, market close today. Be there. I'll be there in chat, and I'll catch up with you, and we'll see how everybody's doing. Lots of love. Thanks for all the donations. Thanks for all the new members. Love yous, love yous, love yous, love yous. Brilliant. Remember, you can support me on Patreon. I lost a member there recently, but still, you can support me there. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I'm showing you like the inside of that. I shouldn't be showing that. Sorry, I've showed everybody the wrong thing. But yeah, definitely like think about supporting the channel if you want to. It would be appreciated. And if you don't want to, I'll still be here, still doing this stuff. Thanks for giving me your time today. You could have chosen to be anywhere, and you chose to be here with me. And every one of you, I appreciate it. Really do. Love yous. Thanks, guys. 3 hours 50 stream. What the fuck am I all about? Is that right? 3 hours 51, 52. Jesus Christ. Kiss and loves. Kiss and loves. Loves peas and loves. Peas and loves.